tonight. So, boys and girls, on Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat today, look who I bumped into in the gallery in Camden. Bumped into. We did plan it on the tube.
He invited me.
Yeah. Pleasure to meet you, my man.
Nice to meet you.
Top stuff. Boys and girls, I'll see you at 8 o'clock. Take it easy. Legend. Look.
Yeah, we know.
It'll be me, isn't it? Me the legend or him the legend? Who knows? We're going horizontal tonight, boys and girls. Change of plan. We are into October. I've been checking out the analytics. So we've been in vertical format for 3.5 months, and it was all good. And I've noticed that the actual analytics have started dropping off, so we've gone back to horizontal format. So just bear with me a moment. Need to try and make us full screen here. There we go. It's not having it. There we are. That's the fella. That's what we want. There we go. Back to normal, aren't we? So we'll go with this for a couple of weeks and see how the viewing figures go. Anyway, that's by the by. It's live chat 133 coming to you from London town here in the UK. Brooksy's Bass Corner. It's Wednesday night, a day late. I apologise. I did give you a fair warning last week and did multiple posts here on the community tab. Couldn't do last night, unfortunately. It was a little too tight time-wise, and I thought, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get stuck on the motorway, M25, M3. It's going to be horrific. You're going to race home. You're not going to get there. As it was, I would have got here. I was home an hour and a half earlier than I thought I'd be, and I could have done this last night, but it would have been a rush. We do it on a Wednesday night, Mike. That's what we can do. It's the way it can be. Anyway, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, bass strings, cases, cleaning materials, maintenance stuff. Got any questions about bass guitars? Any of the equipment? Great bass players, albums with great bass playing on? Fire away. That's what we're here for. It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. If you've not been here before, you're very welcome. Come on in. You're amongst friends. We're all bass players here. So, as I say, if you've got any questions about gear, bass players, technique, theory, any of that stuff, fire away. Put it in the live chat window. Press send. I'll try and respond to it as best I can. If I don't know the answer, then one of these fine people who frequent the live chats may well know. May well. Highly likely. So, if you've not been here before, this is the video window. Directly below, if you're on the mobile app, is the live chat. If you're on the desktop, it's that way. As I say, put your cursor or your insertion point in the text box at the bottom of the live chat window. Press send. Once I see all your comments, questions fire up, we can respond to them. All very easy. There's an emoji icon next to the text box. Feel free to give that an absolute pummeling. Next to that, you're going to see a dollar symbol in a rectangle, and that's called Super Chat. That allows you to make a contribution to the channel if you wish to do so. You don't have to. It's free to watch the videos, free to get involved. The channel is free to watch. We are a monetized channel, but again, you want to help the channel? Hopefully we will keep this going for 20 years plus. Who knows? We've been going for 5 years. Maybe we can do another 20. Hope so. If you want to keep the channel running, then feel free to use that Super Chat facility. There is another facility if you're watching any of the videos at a later date. Every video's got it because we're a monetized channel. So directly below the video window, you'll see a row of icons. There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. There's a share arrow. There's a save option. And next to that, you'll see a love heart with a dollar symbol in it. And that's called Super Thanks. Super Chat and Super Thanks are basically the same thing. But Super Thanks appears on every single video, whether it's a short, long form, live chat, whatever. So again, you can make contributions to the channel if you wish to do so. Helps to keep the channel running. Everything you see on the channel, all the videos, all the basses, pedals, amps, all the cables, the mics, the leads, the stands, everything, the subscriptions for StreamYard, which is what we're broadcasting on, subscription for vidIQ, All of that stuff comes out of my pocket. So you want to keep the channel running, super chat and super thanks are the way to do it. Thank you very much in advance. As I said, there's a row of icons beneath the video window. Thumbs up and thumbs down. Thumbs up is the most important thing you can do for me, for the channel, for this video, for any content creator on YouTube. Subscribers isn't really a thing. It's a vanity metric. I'm not bothered about that. I'd rather have people watching the videos and getting involved. Some of my videos don't even reach the people who are subscribed. And there's talk that YouTube may get rid of the subscribe number. It's a vanity metric. Means nothing. Thumbs ups mean everything. So if you can give the video, this live chat, a thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what doesn't work for you, what you don't like about the live chat or the videos or the channel. If you don't tell me what the problem is, if I don't know what it is, I can't fix it. So next to the thumbs up and thumbs down, you're going to see a share arrow. Feel free to share this video, any of the videos here on the channel, out to social media, email, websites, all good. Albriano, you're a lovely man. You've just made a super chat donation. Well done, sir. Thank you very much. Albriano, top man. Well done, sir. I thank you. I'm just going to go into YouTube here so I can like that, like it again, reply. I can't do that from StreamYard. So I'll do that here. Thank you very much. Bless your heart. Super stuff. That didn't go. Let me do that. Very good. If I don't do it now, you end up forgetting about it because I'll end up talking too much. Thank you very much. Well done, Al. Bless your heart. Thank you. So underneath the icons, you're going to then see a description box. In there, you'll find timestamps for this video. From about midday tomorrow, I will have timestamps up. So everything we talk about tonight, we tend to do 3 hours-ish. If you don't want to spend 3 hours watching the video, you can watch it on double speed, change your viewing speed. So you can watch it in an hour and a half if you wish. But all the timestamps will correlate to what we talk about on the live chat. So all the questions, all the topics, all of that, and you can zip through to your heart's content and find the sections you want to find. After that, you're going to find Brooks's Bass Corner merch links, caps, mouse mats, t-shirts, hoodies, glasses, water bottles, phone cases, iPad cases. Westfort, fabulous. Got his merch, came yesterday, sent me photos. I'll upload them shortly, Westfort. So I'm sparing your blushes for the moment, but bought a t-shirt, bought a hoodie, looks fabulous. Wearing Stacey's design, the I'm with the bass player design, looks fabulous. Tell everyone what you think of it, Westfort. Very good stuff. Lovely chap. So merch links are there for UK and Europe and US and worldwide. You want to look at the merch, you've just missed 25% discount, which was running on the 29th and 30th. I think the next discount is, if you just bear with me 2 seconds, I've got to post it here on my desk with all the dates. Here we go. It's there, isn't it? Right, so we've had the 25% off. That's done. So, well, you're in luck, boys and girls. From today, from today up until the 5th, which is Sunday, you got 20% off worldwide, all merch on Spreadshirt and Spreadshop. So if you want to help the channel, help me, Brooks's Bass Corner merch, use the links in the description box. If you use the YouTube merch shelf, we lose 45% of the affiliate commission. So if you use the links that are in the description box, you can buy all your caps, t-shirts, hoodies, mouse mats, water bottles, 170 items over 15 different designs. So feel free to use those links. You'll get 20% off between now and Sunday. So if you've been holding off buying the Mark King quote shirt or the mug, bearing in mind Level 42 are on tour here in the UK at the moment before they head over to Scandinavia. If you want to go to a Level 42 show wearing a Brooks's Bass Corner shirt with Mark's quote, now's as good a time as any. You'll get 20% off the merch. After this sort of discount, which runs till Sunday, The next one runs from the 8th till the 12th. And basically it's offer 20% off a €70 spend. So you've got to spend €70 to get 20% off. Because if you buy something between now and Sunday, you get 20% off regardless. Whether you buy a sticker, mouse mat, pair of pants, for those who are inclined. Jock straps could well be there. There might be G-strings if you're lucky, for those of a suitable nature. But yeah, 20% off till Sunday. So in the description box, that's your Brooks's Bass Corner merch links. After that, you're going to find affiliate sales links for the Bass Center, vidIQ, StreamYard, Top Cashback. Then you will find affiliate links for bass purchases. So if you're looking to buy a bass, amp, cabinet, speaker, combo, pedals, strings, cleaning materials, gig bags, cases, the whole caboodle, we have affiliate links there for Amazon Worldwide, Thomann and Andertons. Way it works, you click on the links that are there, find the item you want, put it in your basket, go through with the transaction. Once you buy the item, Brooks's Bass Corner gets a very small, I mean small, affiliate commission, but all those small commissions build up to be a bigger commission, which helps me, helps the channel. After that, you're going to find social media links, and you'll find some Facebook, Instagram, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. We are done. You can see messages flying in. Good to see you. I'm going to, because we're back on horizontal form, I can start running the messages on the screen again. Excellent. Vertical is great. We do seem to attract a lot of nutcases. So hopefully now we're back into horizontal format. We'll get fewer knob ends, spanners, and general pains in the backside. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to keep an eye on the analytics. It might work, it might not. I suspect we're going to have lower viewing numbers, but who knows? Maybe some of the stuff that's coming up on the channel might suddenly increase the numbers. Where's Fort? Good to see you. Hope you're good. Visog, good to see you too. Thank you for all the messages on the posts over the past week or so. Westford saying hello. Mr. Pink Bassman, I can see you there. Bill Derbyshire. Bill. Poor Bill. Are you telling them, Bill, or am I? So Bill changed the battery on his NS bass, NS Radius. Put the battery in wrong way round. He's fried his electronics. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, Bill. We've all been there. Normally I will check before I put a battery in a battery box, but it happens. And as I said to you, have a word with the Bass Center. They might well be able to sort something out for you. And hopefully they won't charge you for doing it, but I can't promise that. But have a word with them. They're the UK distributors, so they should be your first port of call. But Bill, you won't ever do it again. It's like putting diesel in a petrol car. You'll never do it again. Promise. Okay. Yeah, Bill's there. Westfort's there. Kev, Seabase, good to see you. Working tonight, mate, but very sad news at G&L shut their doors. Yes, we'll get onto that shortly. Hope Fender buy what's left. I'd rather Fender didn't. I'd rather it went somewhere else and a company resurrects them and does the right thing and puts them back on a good platform. Yes, it's all about the staff, though. Good for the legacy. We'll see. I think Fender will end up trouncing it into the ground like they do with everything. They take the bits of the technology they want, get rid of the company, and then those bits they've taken, they foist into their own stuff. I'm never happy with the way Fender do their takeovers. Stacey's there. Good to see. And then Albriano's contribution. Thank you, Al. Bless your heart. Let me get these up. If you want to join in by video for the chat, you can. Ticker's running along the bottom of the screen in a much bigger font than you've been seeing on the vertical stream. Email me, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, you come live to screen. You can join Jamie and I for a chat. Okay, let's get these messages. That's me there. Westford there. Zoomers there, listening in at work. Excellent. Join us in a couple of hours. Pleasure. Look forward to seeing you. Al, I never ever give money to no channel whatsoever. I'm honoured. But you're the first and only one. That's how you'll make me cry, Al. Don't do that. I'm the best. Well, I'm just ploughing the furrow, mate. I'm just ploughing the furrow. That's all. Westfort, the merch is top quality. Told you it was good. Very comfortable to wear, amazing looking, and you need to give Stacey a big thumbs up there, Westfort, because she designed the second one. The sweatshirt. I'm with the bass player. That was Stacey's work, so you can thank her for that design. I just need to mute that, and I need to mute that too. Otherwise, that one's going to be... that's good. That's all done. I'm just checking the stream health. Just bear with me a second, gang. Yeah, that's looking fine too, which is good news. That's running. Yeah. If the screen would refresh, we can definitely do that. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. And that looks like that's running too. Happy days. Yes, good. Right, that's good. I'm honoured, Al. Thank you. Yeah, pink Speedos. They could be there. You may find some. Problem is, I don't think Speedo do their clothing range with Spreadshirt, but there we go. Al, did I get to Guitar Summit in Germany? No, I don't do those sort of shows. I used to do them all the time because I was part of the mag, Bass Guitar Magazine. It was our show. So I do those, but I don't generally travel for all of that. A, because all the big channels do it. And do you really need me doing the same videos they're putting up? No. B, I've got to fund it all myself. The channel doesn't earn enough money to justify doing it. And also, these things are usually booked so far in advance over weekends, and I generally gig at weekends. If the channel takes off, so at the moment we are on 4,654 subscribers. If the channel starts rocketing and we got up to 50,000, 100,000, then it would justify it. At the moment, this channel isn't big enough. I cannot justify the cost of going to shows like that outside the UK because the videos won't make the money back, so I can't justify it. But like I say, all the big channels on YouTube go and do it anyway, so all you're going to see is the same stuff. Germany, yeah, it's confirmed. G&L is officially closed. Yep. Rumours Fender is going to buy them. Yep. Gaz Harrison, good to see you. You heard Fender was trying to buy the IP. Yeah. The merch. Stacey talking about the merch. Shirts are well made, last for ages. Stacey bought another T-shirt. It arrived yesterday. Gibson are the same. Yeah, Gibson need to get their own house in order, let alone buying out other companies. Stacey, amazing design, fabulous. Visog, ironic Fender buying G&L, isn't it just? Yeah, either I'd be happy if it went to Music Man, but I don't think they're in a position to buy out at the moment. So, and the weird thing is, if Fender buy them out, just before COVID, Fender owed the American government in tax something like $500 million. Do you not want to pay that bill before you start buying companies out? I don't get how that's allowable, but what do I know? What do I know? Bill Darvish, don't worry, you're laughing. The only problem, NS Design are no longer using that system, and that particular bass has been discontinued. Bugger. Contacted NS Design, they couldn't help. As I said, have a word with the Bass Center, because Chris Ward, who does all their tech stuff, would not surprise me in the slightest, Bill, if he's got one of those circuits lying around in his workroom. Have a word with the Bass Center. Just get in touch with them, send them an email. You can mention my name if you want, say that I suggested you get in touch with them. I don't know if that'd help or not, but it wouldn't surprise me if Chris Ward has one of those circuits there. The problem you've got in that bass, I think, is that it runs on piezo magnets, and when they blow, they blow. It's not like a regular circuit in an electric solid body bass. So best of luck, Bill. Best of luck. Westfort very happy with his merch. Electric Low End, so sorry you're late. Well, where have you been? I mean, we were going to wait until you got here, frankly. Hope you've been having a good day. I've been editing all day. My brain is fried. I've been editing because I filmed some the Wilcock basses I filmed last week. I increased the resolution. I wanted high quality video. It's caused a right load of grief with my editing software, so much so that the videos, literally, I'm pressing play to watch the visual and audio, and it's literally lagging so far behind that I can't tell where a cut is and where it isn't. It's taken me like 4 times longer to edit this video, which is basically an 8-minute demo, than it should have done. I should have been able to do that in about 3 to 4 hours and put it out on Monday. Here we are on Wednesday. I've rendered it just before I came live to this live chat, but I haven't checked it. But when we get off this live chat, I'm going to check it all out. Hopefully that demo could be live before midnight. So we will see. Gareth, Bill, keep looking on eBay for a circuit. Someone might have a bass that's goosed and selling for parts. Also, message bass chat. Someone might have a circuit, or you just never know. Someone might buy the bass off you if you wanted to sell it. Ollie, Toby's announced retirement from refinishing work. I think what that is, this is Toby at JD, of course. I think what that is they need to clear their existing order book. And in order to do that, it's all hands on deck. And Jamie and I visited a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying we want to clear this backlog by this time next year. In order to do that, they need all hands on deck. And I don't think Toby has the time to do all the spray work for all the different brands and people saying, I want a bass resprayed. And you've got all the JDs to do and everything else. That's probably what it is. I'm assuming he'll still be taking on refins for JDs. Well, until he says that he is, I would assume maybe that might not be the case. Jamie might know in a minute. I'll bring him to the screen. The only place I really trust to refinish JD is JD, of course. There's plenty for him to do. Oh, just a bit. Electric Lion, you need some tea then to calm your nerves. I don't drink tea. Never. Haven't drunk a cup of tea since I was 3 years old, so that's not for me. Right, let's get Purple Bassman. Purple? He's changed shade. Pink, tartan, blue, green, violet, indigo. Whatever colour, who knows? There we are. Hang on, I need to do that. That's not what we want. That's what we want. That's better. And I need to change the background, of course. Give me a second. Let's just do that. That's better. And yeah, we're good to go. You're live, my man. Here we are. Yes. Where's that video then?
It's in process.
Hard, aren't they?
Well, when you've got to do 4 in one shot, yes,
yeah,
it takes a little bit of time.
Just a tad.
Yeah, so this is the GA24, of course. In the lovely
Very
pearl
nice
pink. Where's Stacy when I need her? Here's your pearl pink, Stacy.
That's it.
So, yeah. So I'm just having a...
So, have you spoken to Toby about this? Is he going to still refinish JDs, or is he just saying, I'm not doing any of that? We've got to get the new instruments out, and that's the
So I'm waiting for his reply, actually, because I suspect it will be if somebody sends a roadie or a supernatural back. I'm sure it'll be sorted.
Yeah.
Because where else would you send it? You know.
Well, that's true. I think you'll probably go to the sideline list, though, based on what he was saying when we were there, that they want to clear this back order. Because they're hamstrung until they clear those books.
Right. Well, because, you know, if you think about it with John's illness and everything, he said they had 250 or 200 something on the list. So for those who are scattering on, yeah, it is what it is.
And then they were clearing, was it 2 or 4 a week?
2.
Yeah.
Say like this. 2, so I'm not going 2.
That's going to need more than in the next year.
Yeah, if you think about it. So 2 a week, if there's 250, that's 125 weeks. That'll be sometime...
It's 2 years. It's
2
years, not 1 year. Oh, my word.
Hello, Albriano. How you doing, man?
Bill Derbyshire, local guitar bass repair chap who said exactly that about piezo pickups, but he has found a compatible EMG ABC balance control that he has ordered. So fingers crossed. You got him, Bill. Gaz Harrison, your £12 IEMs are okay, and you can't complain. So the money will leave them in the gig bag as a backup. There you go. Are those the ones you sent me the picture of in the funky colours? I'm guessing it is. Albriana, hey, what's up? Brother from the awesome state of Tennessee. There you go. There you go. So it's open forum tonight. There's no topic of conversation. We will talk anything bass, anything you want to talk about, gear problems, gear that's coming out, anything you've seen on the channel, anything you want to talk about. The Wilcock basses are up and running. I did 2 small shorts last week, which you will have seen. There's some reels on Instagram. First demo is up tomorrow, which is the new medium scale 102 from Viv. New model, celebrating 10th anniversary of the company.
Nice.
Review of that goes up on Friday, and then there will be shorts over the weekend, and then next week will be the demo and review videos for the short scale one from the 102 range. So basically the deal with these is they've got 2 4P51 single coil pickups in. The medium scale sounds immensely different to the short scale, and our good friend Danny Sapko is about to take on one of the medium scales, so you're going to see that plastered all over the internet. So that's the general deal there.
I was expecting to see Danny Sapko magically pop on the screen tonight.
No, he has an open invite, just as Mr. Sklar does. Anytime he wants to come in and join the live chat, he's welcome. He knows that. So he's a very busy chap, though. Producing that amount of content is no mean feat, and
indeed,
it takes a lot of time. So, yeah. But he does have an open invitation. I said, anytime you want to come on, then you're welcome. So there we are. What's happening in your world? What's going on?
So the artist that I did the 6-song instrumental EP for released it. So it is now out all over the place. I think he's doing it on Bandcamp. So if anybody wants to hear what some of these JDs sound like, I can send you a link, or however you want to roll it, whatever. Because I used an Attitude and a couple of Rickenbackers and stuff and all that stuff too. So if you want to hear it, it's all on my socials, or if you want it here, I can send you a link. It don't matter.
Grand and groovy.
Salut, Westford. Salut, monsieur. We're not gonna do more French than that tonight. So,
Gary Blair, good to see you. Electric Low End. All right, I have one. Boutique bass. Yes. Boutique basses, yes or no? Yes, absolutely.
Boutique bass.
Yeah. Boutique basses, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. If you've got the money and you can have one and you want one, then go for it. They're not for everyone, as we've discussed before. Custom orders. It's a booby trap. It can be if you don't know what you want, and as we've said also before, you can have what you think is your dream bass made. It arrives and it ain't what you thought it was going to be.
Oh, no.
I don't mean as in you order a GB and suddenly an Encore turns up. What I mean is, in your head, the dream bass had all these ideas. You've said to the builder, this is what I want. They build it, put it together, it arrives, and you suddenly go, actually, this ain't working. So you need to have quite... I was going to say quite fixed ideas, but that's not the case. Normally, a luthier will guide you down a certain road when you come to design a custom bass. But at the end of the day, you need to have like the spine of your idea in your head. What timbers, what design, what pickups, electronics, bridge, all that.
And of course, if you go too far out, what happens when you go too far out? Remember, we were talking, what was it, a week or two ago, we were talking about one that was everything that they could throw on it, and somebody had a go on it. It was horrible.
That's it. You just don't know. You don't know. And what you might think is going to be the base of all wonderment, with the best timbers and the best this and the best that, and you've got every custom option, and all that happens is all those frequencies and harmonics and resonances all fight against each other. And it end up in a tonal mess. So if you've got ideas on what you want, then it's work with that, but always listen to what the luthier might suggest, because they work with all that stuff all the time. And, you know, certain timbers, mahogany, Wengi, Paduk, they bring out resonances that other timbers don't. You've got to fit that into the calculation. But there's nothing wrong with boutique basses. Lord knows there's a few here, but
just a few,
not for everyone. But if you've got the money and you know what you want, and you go to a reputable builder, company, manufacturer, it can give you the bass of your dreams. Jerry Blair, it's good to see the channel going from strength to strength. Well done, you sir. Well done.
Nice, very nice.
Good man. Lauren, okay, here's a question.
Go on.
You might have to. So Lauren's obviously selling his Enfield for a princely sum. You might have to play on a lower budget bass. What would you pick? What's your budget?
First question. First
What's
question.
your budget?
How much do you want to spend?
That's it. That dictates everything.
Yep. Because if you're only talking 200 or something of the sort, you're going to get a used Squire and go with that. If you're speaking,
you might pick up a Betsy for 350 quid because there's one on Bass Chat at the moment going for 350. Sadly, I don't know what the player has done with the headstock because it's completely faded. It's lost all colour. I don't know. They must have just left it in the sun.
That'd be a Betsy half-breed.
It needs the headstock needs respraying, but yeah. So tell us what your budget is, Lauren. We can take it from there. Electric low end. Well, then I'll wait for the lottery win for tonight.
Pension funds up.
Yes. Are you thinking of going down the boutique bass route? Is that the reason for the question? If it is, we can give you some things to look out for if you're going to
some
take
thoughts.
That journey.
Deep thoughts with Brooksy.
Yeah. Done it once. Not say I'm particularly inclined to go down that route ever again. Certainly not for that level of money.
I've been down that route a few times.
Yeah, once was enough. And if I did, it would need to be with a luthier in London that I can easily get to and from. Because I'd want to be checking on it every 10 to 14 days, which I didn't do last time. And we managed to get there, but it wasn't the bass that I'd originally intended. But there we go.
Right.
Gareth Harrison, thoughts on the Fender Custom Shop Adrian Young signature? Who's Adrian Young?
That's the first question.
I don't know. Who's Adrian Young? Inform me, Gaz. I don't know. Mr. Prawn's back. Good to see you.
Greetings.
What about Mrs. Scampy? Is she with you? Mr. Prawn, boutique bass sounds like a Thai bride scenario.
Ooh.
Anything's possible, sir. Anything's possible.
Yes.
Lauren, could be around 600 euros, unfortunately. If I could find a used Japanese Jaguar bass, that'd be great. 600 euros.
600 euros is what?
500 quid?
500 quid, yeah. Which is about 400 US.
You could certainly get a second-hand Betsy. I don't know if you like jazzes. I don't know what sort of styling, sounds what sounds you after, Lauren? What sort of tones are you after?
Pick a sound palette.
Because you could certainly get probably a Music Man Sterling for 600.
Easily.
If you wanted some money in your pocket, you could go for a Sterling sub, which would be about 350. But again, I don't know if you want Stingray tones, precision tones, jazz tones,
Rickenbacker
super
tones.
active. So, I mean, 600 euros second hand. It's going to be a lot. I mean, you're going to have Yamaha's Ibanez's falling out of the sky. Bender stuff again. I mean, I'd like to say you could get a Marcus Miller Jazz, but you won't. I got one for 375 quid, but that was 20 years ago, and prices have gone markedly up.
Just a little bit.
You've played a lot of different bass tones, so what do you want?
Right. So what's your preference? What's the one that you would stick with that would be usable in all gigs? I'm
guessing you want an active bass. So do you want 2 single coils? Do you want a PJ? Do you want humbuckers? Do you want a humbucker and a split coil? All of these things got to go in. Mex Fender or Sterling for 600. There you go. Yeah. I'm hearing you. Although you could get a second-hand Mexican Fender for about 455.
And if it's beat up a little bit, you can get 400.
Yeah. If
it's been well loved, it'd be less, as long as the neck is all right.
If you really want money in your pocket, look at a Harley Benton, although you would need to play a few, and the problem you've got is really Thomann are the distributors for Europe, and they tend not to be in stores. And if you order online, it's basically you get picked a box off a rack and it gets sent to you, and no one will have checked it or anything.
Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. Yes, we need some meat on the bones, Lauren.
Yes.
Tones, pickup configuration, active or passive, through neck or bolt on. What are we looking at?
Okay, so he says he's looking at on the Enfield, he uses the Sterling or Music Man setting. So in that case, purchase one of the Sterling Music Man. You can get those used for what, 400, something like that. Depends on how beat up you are.
So yeah, 5 or 6, I think. As I said before, if you're not that bothered and you wanted some money in your pocket, look at the subs. But a Sterling model, maybe like a Ray 34, might be good. Yeah,
Could be good.
the Sterlings are good. It's minimal, the changes. Oh, of bass towers. Look at this. Look at this. RFP. Oh, you can't see it. RFP of bass towers.
Good evening, gentlemen.
RFP of bass towers has joined.
Hello there.
Dr. Status has joined, yes.
Is that what? Yeah. Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Good evening.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hello. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, all good. All good. Yeah, we're flying through. We've got, there's no topic of conversation. It's just bass tonight. And Lauren is selling his Enfield and is looking for, well, this is the man you need to speak to because...
you keep freezing up.
No, we're fine here.
We haven't been frosty yet. No, we're fine.
No,
we haven't been frosty yet.
We're okay. So Rich is your buying and selling man, but Lauren's saying maybe a Sterling for 600 euros. He's got a budget of 600 euros to spend. Electric low end, you play a Harley Benton P bass, plays like a dream. You got a good one. Only cost you 133 euros. My Harley Benton Marquis cost me £128.
There you go.
Great bass, but it's not as good as the one that I had here for review when they first came out. So literally they picked mine off a shelf in its box and sent it to me, but no one checked it.
Surprise.
Not major issues, but the strings are out of alignment with the pickups. The routing for the pickups is shocking. Fingerboard was dirtily dirty. And the strings were absolutely knackered. But other than that, it's great.
Right.
For 128 quid, what do you expect? And now it's discontinued. It's limited edition now. Lauren, the problem with the Enfield bass is that it's super nice bass, too pricey for the people around me. I know what you're saying, and you probably don't want to, in case people see what you're typing. I get where you're coming from. Westfort, what's your price? 600 euros, Westfort. Albriano, yes, Richard is here, so happy to see you. There you go, get your own fan club.
Yes, and Gaz had one up top there that said no idea who Adrian Young was, but Fender gave him a 15 grand Jazz custom shop. No idea.
It's astounding, isn't it? It's astounding. You'll probably find he's a social media YouTuber thing, because this is what's generally going on at the moment. People who have significant followings on social, whether they can play bass or not, are the ones getting the deals.
Right, because they have the face. They have the face for radio. Yes,
the face and everything else. If you know what I'm saying. Thankfully, my banner's hiding what my hands are doing. But you know what I'm saying. At this moment, I'd like €2,500.
He's cutting cake,
but it seems to be too pricey. No.
He's got cake.
Jerry Blair, where would Tuesday night be? Well, a Wednesday this week, of course. Who is the Jerry? You're joking, you.
Jerry's the G-string then, right?
Here we go. I'm the volume pot because I can silence them in 2 seconds, you see. Westfort, the price for the Enfield, it was €3,000 last week. Now 2.5. So he shaved it down by €500. And that's got LEDs. Westfort, I think you should buy that bass. Considering you wanted to buy a King bass with LEDs, you might enjoy that. That might be well up your street.
There you go.
Yeah, very good, Jerry. He's disappeared. He's disappeared. He needs to go and put a fiver in the meter.
Or a Vento on the desk.
That too, yeah. Electric low. And nowadays you get what you pay for. Sometimes you might get lucky. It's very true. Lauren's saying his Enfield's got front and side LEDs and a D-tuner. I know Westfort's ears are pricking up at this point because that's got lights, nice flashy lights in.
Who doesn't like a good set of lights?
Well, of course, it's helpful, you know.
Oh yes.
Unless,
of course, unless your name is Flacky, and if you have Flacky's bass, you know it's got lights everywhere.
Absolutely. There's young Richard popping back to stage. There we go. So you sold a very nice status, not yours personally, but the one that you were selling.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone's got some cash.
And you actually know him as well.
Who's that then?
You had dinner with him about 3 weeks ago.
Stuart.
Mr. Ashenden.
Moo man.
He'll enjoy that.
Oh, yes.
He'll enjoy that.
Moo bought it.
Very
good.
So
I'm dropping down with it to see him on Saturday, and we'll...
Splendid.
Go have your curry.
Splendid. Excellent.
Curry night.
Excellent.
Well, time for a curry.
Get him to take you to the place we went to.
Yeah.
See, we're 40 minutes in and we're talking curry already.
Absolutely. Food and gods.
That's right.
So yes, Lauren, you haven't given us any more meat on the bones. We can't, I mean, we've said a sterling, but there are other options. It's just as much as you want to spend, I guess. So 600 euros. If you go down the second-hand route, you'll get something great.
Yeah,
for that.
Definitely.
I would say. Gareth, it's, this is that Fender signature. It's sparkle gold with what looks like a mud bucker and P pickups and built-in fuzz and fuzz.
Yes, it's exactly what it is, and it looks like something that nobody has...
Oh, dear. Okay. They're going to sell well, then.
That thing that costs about...
it's 15 grand.
Or something. Yeah,
it's 15 grand. So I don't know who's smoking what, but if I was going to throw 15 grand at something, 3 of those, well, that blue wavy one with the LEDs lying on the bench 3 weeks ago would have shipped across stateside, plus a few more.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yes, they're not going to ship many of them, are they?
No. That's, I don't know what they're thinking, but it is what it is.
And of course, also, what is the point of having frets up to the 9th and then?
Yeah,
is it semi-fretted and then fretless?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So that was a thing in the 80s. So
yes, it was.
In my copy of the Watt bass book over there, that was something they used to talk about. And a lot of people not going down the custom route, but if they had a jazz or a precision or whatever, because so many people wanted the slap thing, but they also wanted to be melodic like Jacko, they'd have first up to like the 9th fret or the 12th fret fretted, and then from 12 to 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 would be fretless. So you keep the percussiveness for slapping, although I still think you'd need a fret at the end, but then you wouldn't be able to use the fretless. It's a mix and match.
I have a
actually
comment about that.
I was going to say, I'd never seen one in a shop. I tell a lie. I think I've seen 3 over the years, and they were all at the Bass Centre.
I've seen one
where basically people had done that and then decided this isn't for me, selling that on and getting something else.
Whereas, I can't imagine.
Would it not have been more sense just to buy a separate neck if you had a bolt-on neck?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just get a neck, hardware it up.
Yeah.
Half fretted, half fretless, and then when you want that, you've got it. But if you don't need it for a certain amount of time, just put a fretted neck back on.
Absolutely.
You recall that strange Ibanez that had 2 or 3 strings on the top that were fretless and everything else had frets?
We had a guy on here that had one.
Yeah, that's an interesting. That's an interesting one. But I've seen one of the old aluminium neck Kramers that was half and half.
Yeah.
I guess that's if you want to play talk and then do something else at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say
it's that whole melodic thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Absolutely. I would say Jacko of all trades, master of none.
Well, hey, he's here all week, folks.
That's right. Tip your waiter, tip your server. He'll be here all week delivering chai and Vento. Yes, that's
Gareth suggests a Sire Stingray, Lauren. maybe that'll give you some cash left over in your pocket as well.
Guaranteed.
You think you're going to go for a second-hand one? That's all cool. Albriano, the only Adrian Young I know is the drummer for No Doubt, in which the bass player that inspired me to play back in '95, Tony Canal, is a member of. It's not the same guy.
Not at all.
No. Bill Derbyshire, I've emailed the bass centre as a backup. I'm off to play as the band have a surprising midweek gig. We'll get you, Bill.
Cheers,
Very good.
Bill.
Enjoy,
Look at
sir.
that.
Speak to you soon. Take it easy.
Out on the job.
Yeah, Gareth, they've raised the thickness of the fretless section using resin to compensate for action. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
No thanks.
Funky. I don't think they'll be selling many of those.
And not at 15 grand.
No, I think that's going to be a limited appeal bass.
Very, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. It won't last long. Give it 12 months. It'll be out of the catalogue again by next week. Patrick
Guaranteed.
Sweeney, good to see you. Hope you're well. We're doing okay. Yeah, we're soldiering on.
Yes, we are.
Flying the flag.
Definitely.
Flying the flag.
We have the flag.
Yeah. So any news on the band hunting front, young Richard?
Not yet. No,
No?
I'm actually playing for the duo at the moment. I'm playing for the trio. The trio's got, as of yesterday, we had about another 8, jobs in. So yeah,
Lovely. Well, there
yeah,
you go.
Plenty going on.
Good.
Projects.
Good.
I shall just
Splendid.
trickle along.
If anyone wants to join me and the my two esteemed colleagues here for a video chat, feel free. Email address is running on the ticker on the bottom of the screen. Email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. Click on the invite. You come to screen. It's easy.
Simple as that.
It's as simple as that. Zoomer will be along later. Andy Stratford's going to be along around about 10 o'clock. So it's all good.
There you go.
Good. Lovely.
G&L. Now there's a thing.
G&L.
Let's talk about
The
G&L.
Goodness me. Well, at the moment, nothing's official in terms of who's going to take over any part of it, or whether they are or they're not, or whatever. The big money's on Fender, of course. There were some bets on Music Man, but I don't think that's going to be happening. They've got enough stuff to deal with looking at the prices of their instruments. I think they're up against it at the moment. So
Yeah.
So it sounds like Fender are probably going to take over the intellectual property of it, but whether they keep any of the products, keep any of the staff, there was talk that they might keep the factory because it was Fender's factory. It's where he started. It's his workroom, his workbench, and it would
Yeah, it was at
increase their
wasn't it?
Yeah, it would increase their story, but they weren't going to keep any of the tech. So it's going to be a time thing to see what transpires on this front. But it's very sad. I feel sorry for the workers.
It is, yeah.
They'd had no money for about a month and a half, 2 months.
That's not always, well, that's never the situation. If you're doing a work, you should get a full day's pay. But
Yeah.
obviously
True.
something happened to trigger this, because, you don't just close up shop going, oh, we're off, didn't see you. You know, something happened prior.
Although what I've read, going back historically, is that these people that bought the company out, I think back in 91, probably after Leo passed away, his wife, I think, sold the company to this McLaren lot, and they just couldn't manage a P-up in a brewery.
Yeah.
Well,
By the sounds of it, because I've read interviews with the head guy, and he's talking a good game, but none of it makes any sense in terms of running a guitar company and increasing the marketing and the pushing of products out into the marketplace. You can't keep banging on about this was Leo's final bass venture, final company. Yet we've heard all that. We've heard it all.
yes.
And it's like time has moved on. That was 34 years ago that he passed away. You've got to find some other things. Now, a lot of the stuff, as this one I've bought, it's immaculate, outstanding, just that it's like silk playing it. However, I don't know if you've seen the video. There's a video of a guy called Know Your Gear, runs a channel, and he got literally one of the last guitars that came out via Sweetwater, and it's a white 6-string guitar, 1 pickup, Kayla bridge. The neck is great, but the fingerboard holy crap. So someone has basically, I don't even know what, like they've tried to polish frets, missed the fret, and basically scoured, like someone had a Brillo pad on the fingerboard and scratched it all.
Gouged it almost,
and then bits of the metal have come off and darkened the fingerboard. It's like, that's a brand new, from Sweetwater, it was $2,500.
And a quick return.
Well, on top of that, so he filmed Sweetwater doing a 55-point check. He gets the guitar out on his workbench. The grounding wire isn't connected.
Yep.
Now, how did that get past a 55-point check and has been plugged in to check the pickups and everything? How did you not hear it? He plugs it in. The wire is just, he goes into the back and there's a wire just hanging loose.
Mm-hmm. Well, 55-point check means you hit a point, you drink a pint. Then you hit the next point, you drink a pint. So by the time you've gotten to the 55th point, guess what? You're on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, but Al said something. He said Fender just wants Leo's name, image, and likeness, and really, that's the one thing that they did not have and have not had, because G&L has kept that, because it was Leo's legacy. So
I think also legally Fender weren't allowed to use his image because G&L
they were not.
had it.
Nope, they were not. So it'll be a whole different marketing ploy if they go ahead and purchase the rights to all that. That would be the reason why they would do it. So, and Gareth is in here reminding us that he's hoping they keep the lineup of instruments, but it would be imports only. It's really hard to say what they'll do if they actually purchase, because they could do some custom shops. They could flip that place and turn it into the Fender custom shop and make those on the side. But the question is,
you have all sorts of possibilities.
Yeah, well, you have to ask the question. You have to ask the question: how what's the word? How desirable are those things to be purchased new?
I suspect guitars will do well, basses will just disappear into the ether.
Well, because
I don't get the impression the G&L basses have been as desirable as they are. They're not hankered after. And that's the problem. The bass end of things has kind of sort of faded away. Guitars, on the other hand, the G&L versions of Strats, Tellys, and everything else. I mean, all this stuff popping up on Facebook of people's collections. There's guys out there with like 40 G&Ls, all in different finishes and combinations, and and it's like, wow. They clearly, kept their guitar range was ever changing. And the custom shop side of that as well. You say what you want, you can pay for what you want, you can have it. It's there.
Yep.
So it's going to be a matter of time. People were saying they might do what they did with SWR, which is basically take the technology, although guitar technology and amplifier technology are two very different things. But what they did with SWR, which I didn't know, was they took the stuff that was in there circuitry-wise and use that to create the rumble line, which I didn't know that was the family tree path.
That the G&L brand would become a sort of a sub brand.
Might be. We will only know through time, but
true.
I don't have a good feeling about it, because everything Fender do with this, you bought Gensbens, you've ran it into the ground. You bought SWR, you ran it into the ground. This is good companies with good technology and good ideas. You bring it under the Fender umbrella and it disappears.
Just like Gibson and Peavey.
Yes.
They could have kept SWR as like a sideline, like they have done with Charvel and Jackson, Guild. The Guild line, going back to like the late 90s, you open up a Fender catalogue, Guild had its own specific section, and they kept that, not inheritance, but that family line of, this is good quality and we have to stay that level. I don't think they're going to do that with this. And I think Fender of now is very different to Fender 30 years ago. And there's so much debt in the whole industry as well. I don't know. It doesn't ring good with me. Christ, I'm very glad I've got the one I've got. I don't think the prices are going to go up. I just think what's going to happen is things that will pop up secondhand will probably maybe sell quite quickly, but on the other hand, they might not, because they've never really been flavor of the month. So
that's a fact. They have never been, as far as I know, because I mean, I've seen them. The original ones with the larger paddle headstock were the ones that everybody wanted initially, because they said they were better built, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, they did the little headstock with the point in the middle, and, you know, people start nattering on about it. But really, I mean, I don't know anyone who has taken one and run with it for quite a number of years, honestly. I mean, people talk about them here and there. They pop up here and there. But on the overall...
Lewis, I think Cass Lewis was using them for a while, and I think he still does. But other than that, and the weird thing is, if I talk to people about them, well, Neil Fairclough's got one. He's got an ASAT, and he's had that since the late 90s. And but people just, you just don't see them out. And the daft thing is, as I showed on that video last week, which was just a you know, off the cuff, it's not a proper review or demo or anything, the amount of sounds in it, and it sounded a million times better than the twin pickup Stingray I had. Far better.
However,
I had one here, put that up against a single pickup Stingray, and the single pickup one was just blew the double pickup out of the water. And when you went over onto that single pickup on the double, just went to the soloed the back pickup, like night and day.
Yep.
It was like, how did that get so lukewarm? A Stingray back pickup needs to be like roaring, and this thing was like it was like, what is that?
Music in the lift.
Absolutely.
It wasn't music, man.
Ha!
Wasn't music, man. But this G&L...
Give that man a glass of wine.
Well, he's firing, you see. But this G&L is like different class. Should have bought one of these years ago. Honestly, wish I'd bought one. And I nearly did. Nearly bought one in 2012 off eBay, which was a white 88 with a matching headstock. The larger, more traditional headstock shape.
Right.
And I missed out on it by about 15 quid. I think it went for like 690, and I bid 675. I was in Israel at the time. I was watching it, and the auction finished just as we were about to go on stage, so I couldn't do one extra bid. And when I left my hotel room, it was like there was like £70 difference, and I had the winning bid. And when I came back, it was like, oh, you lost it by 15 quid. But it was good. But having said that, it would have been an older bass, failing components, maybe. You don't know. But this thing's great. So
see, well, I had a blue one. It was kind of a transparent blue over an ash body. It weighed a metric ton. It was like picking up a T40. All we have to say is like picking up a T40. So you put it down, you sit down and you set it on your thigh, and you're going to sit and play, and your leg goes to sleep because you've got this massive thing resting on your thigh. And then, you know, if you want to
we're
go
not
around,
talking about Mrs. Pink Bass, are we?
No, we're not. No, sorry.
No, right, okay. Just checking.
No.
It goes down the wrong road.
Well, you know.
It goes down the wrong road. His mind wanders. He's older than me.
Only by how much?
A couple of years. Right. Hang on here. Electric low end. A Sire Stingray might be your next buy. Okay. Albriano, we've just discussed that. Gareth, Fender keeps a lineup of instruments, but if they do, I suspect it would be import models only. Yeah. Albriano, Fender is a jackal like Gibson. They bought SWR only to get what they wanted and kill off the brand. I loved SWR. I still have my old California Blonde. They're good amps. Patrick Sweeney, now then, chaps, just bought a Kayla Uke bass. Okay, sounds immensely. Your bare-face cab Aguilar amp. It'll only come out on open mic and jam nights for a bit of fun. It's interesting on funk songs. I did a review of the Journeyman bass.
Okay, yeah.
That was about 9 years ago, and I thought they were great. Really good. Bakiti Kamalu uses his live on stage with Paul Simon
all the time.
Songs. Not sure I could do a gig with one. I think I might end up smashing it to bits because fiddly little neck and
Oh, look, it's this
fingers
big.
all over the shop. Yeah, a bit more like a toy. But if it's working for you, Patrick, you go for it. Good,
Right
well
on.
done. What we
Yeah,
got
I've actually
here?
had a Carlo tenor for years, and it's brilliant, bulletproof. Yeah,
they're good. Don't cost a lot, not a lot of
Yeah.
investment, and
they're good.
Good bass tones. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gareth, G&L as a sub brand, they have Squire for that. I have seen, I mean, it's all conjecture at the moment. No one knows what the hell any of this is going to happen. But
Nobody knows.
they were saying G&L by Squire, and I think the production cost for that with those pickups and the circuit and everything else, I'm not sure that'll work. It would be a dumbed down G&L in that case. Lauren, you got to go to bed. Love you all, guys. Thank you for tuning in, Lauren. Well,
Yes,
have a
indeed.
nice sleep.
Yes.
That's all
Good
good.
night.
Everyone's
Rest
saying
well.
night to Lauren. Thanks for your advice. Let us know how you get on. Keep looking at those bass ads,
Oh, yes.
I would say. Oh, well, another thing to throw into the fire there, Lauren. Second-hand Spectre Legends. You might get one of those for €600. They're
less.
about 900, 950 to 1,000 for a brand new one. You might get a second-hand one. I don't know how you feel about Spectres, but there we go. Gareth Harrison, strings on a UK bass take a bit of getting used on a uke bass, not a
Uke
UK
bass,
bass.
yeah. UK bass.
Do you think they are same used on the Ashbury basses? I think they are. They're the rubber silicon
The
ones.
rubber
You need to put
bands,
talcum
yes.
powder on them, or you used to. On the Ashburys, you had to coat them in talcum powder, otherwise they wouldn't slide. Your finger would just stick. You couldn't go anywhere. Don't play it on a hot, sweaty day either, because it's not good. Lauren, as always, listen to the end of the live tomorrow morning. Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, my man.
Yes, indeed.
That's all
Absolutely.
good. It's just gone 9 o'clock here. Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 133, coming to you from London town here in the UK. If you're joining us, welcome. Come on in. I've got Richard here, got Jamie here. We're talking bass. There's no topic of discussion, just bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass players, all of that sort of stuff. No, don't go bending notes either. Certainly not, Patrick.
Woo! Yeah.
Don't do that. You don't want to be doing that. If you're after merch, we've had merch sales. Westfort's bought some merch. Links are in the description box below. 20% off today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you're looking to buy some merch for the channel, helps me out, helps keep the channel running. 20% off. Links are in the description box. Don't use YouTube's merch shelf that you'll see underneath this video. If you can, if you wish, but we lose 45% of the affiliate commission, so we end up with literally crumbs, not anything of any significance. But if you use the links in the description box, that helps me a great deal, so thank you in advance.
Just a piece of cake instead of the whole lot. Yes.
Don't even get that. Get the crumbs. Get the box.
Crumbs only.
Box.
The sprinkles
I
from
get
the frosting, right?
I get the plastic packaging. That's it.
The
Gareth,
little don't eat packet. Yes. Okay.
Silica gel.
Silica gel. Yes.
Gareth Harrison, Ashbury, another brand Fender bought, and yeah,
Guess
absolutely.
yes.
That's exactly it. Going back to the early 90s.
Well,
they
they're
did
good at
try. I mean, to be honest, the Ashbury were always on a hiding to nothing. That was people coming up with ideas for things that hadn't been done.
Oh, yes.
The market wasn't in mode for that. That it was all long hair and leather and blokes that looked like women and lots of shrieking. An Ashbury was not what was required in 1991.
And that was in Soho last week.
Oh, yes, it's still there. Yes, actually, I caught Danny Sapko's attention with that. He went, "What the hell is that?" I said, "That's an Ashbury. Don't go there. You don't need that. Don't need that in your life. You don't want people asking why you're buying so much talcum powder at the supermarket."
Oops.
Yeah.
Sainsbury, what are you doing? We're having a sale on talc. How about that?
That's it. That's it. Stock up for your
That's
Ashbury
right.
bases and other requirements.
And you get a meal deal for £4. Look at that.
Need I point out
That's
that the Carlo U bass has strings made out of latex?
That's it. Well, the Ashburys were always silicon.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
yeah,
a silicon rubber, and
Yeah.
that's why you had to have the talcum powder. I think with the Kayla stuff, it's they've refined it. We're
Latex
35 years on in technology.
Strings
so they
by
found a
Trojan.
coating.
Yeah.
Well, it takes all sorts.
It does.
For a smoother playing experience.
my strings
Right,
are
quickly
ripped.
moving
no.
on.
Yes.
Keeping it clean.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can we
so there we are.
get things out of the gutter, please? Yes.
I can see now Stacy's hand is going to come out. Whack, 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 whack.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Stop it. Stop it.
Pack that in.
That's right.
Keep it clean.
Behave yourselves.
That's right.
I've told you once before.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't speak like that wearing a Molly Sugden wig.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely. The old yarn of what do you tell a bass player who's got two black eyes? Nothing, because you actually told him twice already.
That's it, and he didn't listen. What's that? We noticed you may not be using automated live ads. What factors contribute to this choice? Mark all that apply. It's nice of you to just throw that into the middle of the live chat.
Automated live ads.
If it jumped on the screen, we'd have trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh, well, I'll turn the live ads on then. If I can I? No, I think I have to do that before.
No, too bad.
Do you actually get paid more?
Here we go. Insert ads. Enable monetization. It's already monetized, you dipstick.
I can see now it's going to match all the things we've just spoke about, and all the ads are going to pop up, and everybody's going to be going, what's this then?
It's just said, in order to include ads, you need to set enable monetization to insert ads, and I can see monetization is already turned on. So it's already there.
All right.
I don't know. Deal with it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, yes, the strings roll if you try to bend them. Sounds like a set of Dunlops to me.
Or Auroras, yes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dunlops. And that's what's on the G&L, funnily enough. And when I was doing that video at the weekend, they did exactly the same thing they did 10 years ago. Bend a string, and the string revolves, kind of rotates under your finger as you're bending it. It's the most weird sensation.
That's why I play with the lighter ones. That's why I use the lighter ones, because I can get underneath and just push, especially with the attitude. If I'm going to go onto those last 5 and go up, I don't want the string going, oh, look, we're going up.
Ooh. Well, the thing with this is you've got the points anchored, headstock, bridge, and you push the string up. Now, with a set of rotor sounds, they stay as they are, and you're pushing the string up.
Yep.
On the Dunlops, you're pushing the string up, and the string is revolving under your finger as you push it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no surface. It's moving as you're doing it.
Yep.
It's horrible. I can't be going with that. Rob Steen, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well, all the way from Ireland. Hi there. You were looking for bass suggestions. This is for Lauren. Lauren will see this in the morning. This is for sale in Ireland, 650, a Marcus Miller V7. That's a Sire.
Sire, yep.
It's
Lauren?
€50.
Lauren?
What?
That's Rob Steen.
Well, is it in Ireland or is it in Northern Ireland?
You won't be able to post a link, Rob, but if you email me on the email address at the bottom of the screen, brooksyspacecorner@gmail.com, I can post the link and Lauren will see that when he watches this tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's how that'll work. Gareth, never liked Dunlops. For that reason, wrote sound all day for you. Very
there
good.
You go.
I concur. Albriano, fellas, why would Michael Tobias sell his company to Gibson?
Money.
A company that doesn't care at all about bass players. He came back with MTD.
All together now.
Highly sought after.
Yeah,
all together now.
Absolutely.
It's called that. Folding stuff. He came back with MTD, but his first line was highly sought after. I don't know the entire story there. I would imagine, because Tobias was such a great brand in the late 80s, early 90s. And I don't know when he sold. Do you know when he sold?
It was in the early to mid 90s, I believe. Well, I could be mistaken. I could be slightly off in that, but when Gibson took them over, they used the custom shop here because I had a couple guys I knew who worked over there, and they still made them to a certain spec, and then they came out with what they called the growler bass.
Gibson bought Tobias in 1990.
There you go.
Okay.
So they lived out
Tobias was still involved up until 92, and then left to start his own company, Michael Tobias Design.
Yep. So they
Gibson didn't have that long then, being the original basses. So when did they come out?
I think his first bass was made. His first bass was made in the late 70s because the guy Brian at the low end here has one of them.
Right.
It's a it's kind of the soap bar style pickups, but it's got an Omega cut on the backside.
Tobias started in 77 in Orlando, Florida. First instruments came out in January 78, which would have been in time for NAMM then.
Yep.
Here we go. There's a timeline here. Gibson bought them in 1990. Production was moved to Nashville. Tobias left Gibson in 92. Production of Tobias guitars for Gibson shifted to Arkansas in 2003. And Tobias brand was reborn, this year from Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
It all gets very confusing because you see things in shops and you then go, is that an original or is it not? And half the time people don't know because there aren't huge numbers of those basses. But if you get a proper 80s, like 85, 86, 87, 88, 89 Tobias, it's proper. It's serious. You plug that in, it's like, whoa, different class.
Well, then you've got to remember they also had the import line called the Tobies.
Yes.
Where they had kind of the Killer B and those things where they moved the design
Killer
a bit.
B was a good bass. I remember seeing the review of that in Bass Player. Yeah,
because I mean, the Tobies were kind of I forget if they were Korean or Japanese made originally, but they were they were not what you expected if you wanted to purchase the big T with it around it. So.
That question you're asking, Al, why would he sell it? It was exactly the same reason Trace Elliott sold out to... Well, actually, Trace Elliott went to Cayman. And I think Cayman were the distributors. They didn't buy Trace Elliott out. And then what happened was Gibson bought Cayman.
Right.
And by that time, we were into the mid-90s. And Trace Elliott hadn't fallen from its perch, but bass playing and bass buying trends had changed. So suddenly Trace Elliott wasn't what everyone wanted. They wanted old Ampegs. They wanted old high watts. They wanted all that sort of stuff. So in order to improve Trace Elliott's standing in America, it made sense for a company like Gibson to push it. Problem was, no one realised Gibson were going to go, we'll buy you, and then we're going to bury you, which is exactly what happened. And then eventually, after years of nothing, PV bought the brand, and this is still gets my goat, and people now say, is a Trace Elliott now? Like, no, it's nothing to do with old Trace Elliott. It's just a brand name. Same branding. It's not the company. It's nothing to do with that company. That company is basically
long gone.
The remnants and the ideas are now Ashdown, and that's the way it is. But it's exactly the same thing. It's called corporate takeover, and it's what companies have done since the dawn of time. If you've got competitors, you go round, you buy them up, you bury them, and you carry on.
Yeah, thinking that you're going to be successful, and then somebody else comes along and blows your doors off because they're making a better product, regardless.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your email, Rob. I'm going to post this for Lauren. Lauren, watching this on Thursday. This is the bass that Rob Steen has just mentioned.
Yeah.
There we go. Electric Low-End, tip the bass player. They're the reason you're dancing. You've read my T-shirt, haven't you?
Indeed.
I had on Saturday. It's the truth. It's the truth. Although the band leader and Uncle Funk went, no, it's not. No, it's not. I said, yes, it is. You know it. It is. I know it. Exactly. Take the bass player away. No one dances.
Well, then just give him a tune with no bass and see what everybody does.
Exactly. Yes, he should know better. He was just saying it.
Hands off for a moment. Go on.
That's right. Yeah, no one notices we stopped until we do stop.
That's right. That's right.
Then it all goes down the pan.
Yeah, because then it becomes the White Stripes with a little more groove to it.
You know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Yeah, I do.
There we go.
Anyway, and of course, other news, I am really, really enjoying my GB. So it's really, really nice.
Good.
Yes, it's absolutely stunning.
There you go.
Excellent. I can tell you that JD Series 2 didn't last long after you tried it because it's long gone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Somebody bought it. Wow.
Quick shift. The only one that...
Oh, he's gone.
It happens every week.
It does. It just disappears. It's like, I
don't know how he does it.
I think we actually need to actually call him Weezard.
I think he needs to plug it into the power and do that at the
might
start.
actually help, yeah.
Well, yeah. He was on here before I even logged into the studio, so I don't know. Need to get that adapter, plug that in.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Definitely.
There we are. Or USB it.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do that? I don't know how you do it.
Anyway, what I was trying to tell you, Rich, was there's only one left.
I love the way it carries on from the end of the sentence.
Weezard is back.
Need to plug that in, mate.
Yeah.
I always, it's, you know what's crazy? It's not even that. It's just that somebody rings up and then all of a sudden it goes, and that's the end of it.
That's it. You got to put it onto flight mode.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Or get yourself a separate dedicated camera device.
Yeah.
By the way, did we change format today?
Yes, I've changed format.
Thought it looked odd. Yeah,
because the 1st of October, and also the viewing numbers from the shorts feed had decreased markedly. Right. So when we started this, so Lee Sklar came on, so that would have had an impact. That live chat had about 3,300 views. And last week's one had about 450, which is a marked drop. So I thought we'll go back to horizontal for a month and see what happens.
So we're on our side.
Also, it's a nicer watch on a TV. My folks watch this and they say it's horrible trying to watch it in vertical format on a TV because you've just got empty space.
That's right.
I'm waiting for Mum to pop in anyway, so.
No, she'll be eating her dinner. Don't worry about that.
Okay. There you go.
That's it.
So anyway, so last thing, Rich.
Yes.
The only one they have left is the fretless JD at Will's place, unless they've gotten something else. That's a great fretless. I don't know why someone doesn't snap it up. Yeah. But I guess you have to want to play one. So
you do, yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's not like I don't have two sitting here, but you know.
I think it's also probably that it's a roadie.
It is a roadie.
Series 1, 2, or I know that. If it was a Series 1, 2, or 3, I think it would have flown out the door.
Yeah.
I would think so. Well, you know, roadie to me just means time for a respray.
Yeah, definitely.
So, because, you know, unless it's pink already.
Well, it needs also, if people refer back to that live chat we did the other week when you pulled the blue one out, it needs to be that pickup.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is you know, this is not the original pickup because
no,
Dave.
That's what I'm saying. So someone goes in the shop thinking, and if they, I'm not saying anyone watched the live chat, heard that, and then has gone. But if they then went, oh, I know Bass Brothers have exactly the same bass, I'll go and buy it. They're going to be severely disappointed because it's not the same pickup as the one that's in yours.
Right, right. Well, it's actually not the same. It's not the same pickup that's in the neon pink one either because the neon pink one has. Now this is where it gets funny. The neon pink one has the original pickups, but they were resorted because they were dead.
Oh, right, okay.
So they were rewound and remagnetized and all that. So they might as well be the new pickups, you know, because I mean they took it apart and did all that lot. But I mean, every one of them's a wee bit different.
Yeah.
So
that the pickup in the blue one was super wound, wasn't it? It's like ultra.
It seems like it. It does seem like it. It's got a lot more punch than the other ones do for sure.
Yeah. Albriano, the bass is the link between harmony and rhythm. Yeah. It's the foundation of a band. Yep. It's what all the other instruments stand upon. Yeah.
Victor Wooten quote.
Big shoulders.
That's it. Yeah.
God
Pete,
himself.
Nearland, good to see you. Liked your video you put up the other day. I'm a big fan of headless basses since Steinberger started it, and there's a new Steinberger headless out for those who haven't seen.
Fan frets.
What price point and whether they're going to be successful, price will dictate everything. We'll have to see how many of them they can.
Usually started about NS designs. Usually started about 2. Don't they?
Yeah, this is a new take on the old bass.
Oh right.
Have you not seen this?
Okay.
This was at Guitar Summit at the weekend. So basically, it's like a big block pickup, like the Super 8 was, with multiple coils.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of switches going on, and then a slightly different shaped body.
More strings.
Remind me, was there like a cut-off point, like the Dingwall headless at the end of the neck?
On the top, on the top, it looked like it almost looked like the old Gibson 2020, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
Steinberger.
NS Designs,
Is it?
That's fan. It looked like fan fret as well, so it was.
Yes.
NS.
6-string NS fan fret is what it looked like to me. Because Ned Steinberger was speaking about it. Here it is. You know.
Pete, at one point these basses were out of fashion. Just a bit.
Just
a few days ago,
JDs,
Ola England walking on the guitar show in Mannheim. Yes, that was with the new one. The NS Fin, I think that's what it's called, isn't it?
That's
will
what
also
it's called,
be available in wood, at least cheaper. The problem is when they do this and they go also available in wood, no one buys them, and they sink without trace within about 6 months. NS need to appreciate that when they do things like this and they say, "Here's our graphite one," that's what you make, and stick to that. Don't do a wood version. No one is it. Well, I'm talking from my perspective as someone who's been a bass player for more years than I care to remember, nearly 40 years. No one is interested. When you've got a premium product and then you do a cheap range like Warwick doing rock bass, Hartkey doing transporter cabs, any brand, and you do a cheaper version, no one's interested.
No one cares.
Out of people who will play and will push those things forward as players, as opposed to some guy who just does the occasional gig once every 6 months, regular players ain't interested.
At all.
Stick to the premium product. I know it doesn't make enough money, but that's keep that level, because as soon as Warwick went down the cheap route, all bets were off, and all I've seen is a decline where Warwick stuff that's of a premium level is now so hyper expensive it's unobtainable, which is why there is no UK distributor. You don't see Warwicks over here unless a shop like Bass Direct does a custom order, and then you look at the price tag and go, forget that. So Steinberger, if you're listening, stick with the premium product. That's the fella.
Yep, that's the one.
Looking,
if they stick with that,
graphite.
Stick with that. Promote it properly. It'll do well.
That is.
Oh yeah, you're probably looking at about $4,500, $5,000, I reckon.
Yeah, easily.
But the problem is, will you sell enough of them?
No.
Nope.
And but if you go down the wood route, why would anyone buy one of them over a Series 23 status?
Because they could probably get it easier than a Series 23 status over here anyway.
Maybe.
There's an actual really, really nice 23 at Peach. It's a green one, isn't it?
Why did people purchase the Washburn Series 1000 instead of buying the Series 2?
Because they couldn't afford a status.
Bingo!
Same as when I was a student at the age of 18, I bought a brand new Hohner Jack.
Well, of course.
Active one.
But then again...
Because I couldn't afford
the argument then is, how come the Steinberger Spirits have never taken off?
Because they suck.
Because they look like
the same reason.
Cricket bats.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's a wooden version of a Steinberger. But if you make one of these new NS Fins and you make it out of wood, why would anyone buy that over anything else? I don't.
They can't buy
it would be because of the pickup.
One.
It would be because of the pickup. It would be because of the pickup and being able to switch. But
yeah, because they can't buy. They couldn't buy the graphite one then. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, the NS Fender will also be available at least cheaper. Yet Gareth Harrison tried one of the newer Tobias basses as a friend bought one a few months back, and you weren't impressed. Okay,
Surprise.
George Iliadis, good to see you all the way from Australia. Hope you're well.
Hello.
Chris, how's that merch going down with you and your missus? Hope that's all going well. Beat after beat, good to see you too.
Hello,
Pete,
Beat.
the NS Fin has too many strings for your taste. 4 is enough. 4 is always enough.
Yes.
George Iliadis, yes, agreed. The budget specs never hold up. Not in my experience. They're there to increase sales, but the thing is, the bass market now, compared to 20, 30 years ago, is so flooded just with second-hand instruments. Where do all these basses that don't get bought, where do they go?
I've wondered
Because
that.
it's like they've got to go somewhere. And people don't destroy basses generally, if you know what you're doing. So it's where does all this gear go?
That's the big question. Because think about
There's
how
the
many
question
years
that needs answering.
how many years we are in this game down the road with all of this stuff. Where is it all? You know, when we were all together, I made the joke about, you know, looking in the Bible of JDs, where are all these things gone? I mean, I've had 20 of them. Where are the rest of them? You know, and
There
I
are
mean, it's one
basses
thing.
that I used to see at the bass center that I've
Yeah.
never seen come up secondhand.
Yep. So they're either under the bed in the case, they're in the attic in the case, they're in the garage in the case, or they're somewhere lost out here in the netherworld somewhere. They're missing.
Correct. There we are. Answers on a postcard, please. Chris, I believe the new Steinberger will be extremely limited, maybe less than 10. Why
That
did
means
they
it'll be
bother
very
showing it off?
expensive. That'll be lots of
Why'd they bother
expensive.
even showing it? You could have just done that with a video on YouTube. I wouldn't have bothered taking big fanfare at Guitar Summit. Electric Low End, fastest Pinkster on earth. Keep it clean. Albriano saying hello. Gareth Harrison
Don't choke on
under
your
a digger.
Vimto.
Under a digger, like Gibson did with the Firebird X guitars a few years back. Agreed. People saying hello. It's all good. Albriano. Guys, they are buried in a crater in Arizona with the ET Atari cartridges. Yeah, that's probably about right.
There
a
you
lot of
go.
bases, though.
There
a
you
lot
go.
of bases. But yeah, that's always... so I might see if I can sit down and still be on camera. This could be a challenge. Oh, we can. Oh, that's good. I've lost about a foot, but it's all right. Saves the legs.
You'll be
you know.
fine. Good
That's
I'll
right.
idea.
be all right. I can reach my drinks easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always funny to think about where all these things go because, you know, magically, I mean, well, think about it. How many Fenders are there? How many could there possibly be?
Exactly. And what about all the ones that came out in the 90s and you don't see them in secondhand shops now?
Yes,
I don't ever see anyone playing them.
disappeared.
Right.
That's
I don't see anyone playing them. All the pointy headstock Fenders that
Themes
came
and
out.
things, yeah.
Strats with black headstocks written in like a childish scrawl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't see any of them.
No.
And you certainly don't see them in the shops. So where
No.
are they?
Right. Great question. Great question.
Don't see Marlin
Very good
Sidewinders for the millions of them that were sold.
Right.
You occasionally see one on eBay, like once every 6 months. What happened to all those Sidewinders?
Fair question.
Absolutely. Is an
I don't
extremely
know.
good point.
Trace Elliott bright boxes. They sold loads of them. Where
I
are
had
they? I don't.
2 of those. Yeah.
Those are in
There you
those
go.
are in the rubbish, I'm sure.
They were
blown
great.
up. All
They were
blown up.
brilliant.
Oh, they
They
could be
were.
all blown up. Yeah.
Ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Ahead of their
They were.
time.
Yep.
Gareth, a guitar manufacturer's biggest competition is their own used guitars. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
I agree. No,
Very
it's,
true,
it's,
actually.
it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. But it's like, how many more bases can all these companies keep? You know, Fender have. Well, part of the thing with G&L was they had to hit. They were being paid. Was it paid by the tax people for keeping up with their build orders?
Could be.
There was some really weird sort of. It was like shareholders' money. They would get paid
Who
the
was
money that would. This is G&L. If you
Okay.
do a Google search, because that's what I saw it on. They were being paid for confirming and fulfilling their order quotas. And if they did that, they then got paid the money that was then used to pay the staff. But it was who was paying them that money. It was either tax people or it was like shareholders. It's some weird arrangement, and it's
that's an odd one.
That's half your problem. That's why it's all gone a little squiffy. Beat after beat, Duran Duran.
Hello.
Oh,
woo!
Do you
Duran Duran shirt. Sorry.
New teeth.
Sorry. Do you think that money might have been switched off by MAGA?
That's hard to say because
I think some of this is to do with the tariffs. Tariffs on hardware.
A bunch of it, I'm
hardware
sure, probably does. I would say that probably does to a point.
And also, their biggest selling products are their tribute basses, which are made.
Yes, they are.
Overseas,
made
and all your hardware,
Indonesia,
and all your pickups.
Yes.
And you've got to pick up all of that.
Oh, yes.
It's a huge amount of extra expense, especially if you're not shifting lots of units, you know.
Right.
Beat after beat, a Duran Duran shirt and a bass guitar would be a great birthday present for me today. Happy birthday, Beat after beat. I can't give you either. I have done similar.
58. Wow, you're doing well.
Similar combinations on my own birthday, so. Yeah, I've had a bass on many birthdays.
Then there's a purple Challenger, but we need Zuma for that one.
Yeah, he's not here yet.
Right.
He's making himself look younger, so he'll be along. So he couldn't look any younger. He looks about 12.
He does actually, doesn't he?
If he took away the beard, you'd ask him if he was anywhere above 50.
That's it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Electric Low End, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Beat. There you go. See, come on here. Everyone wishes you a happy birthday. Today is your birthday. Excellent.
Happy birthday,
Gareth. Hence, used by Fender on Reverb. What a scam that is. Quite. Agreed. Everyone wishing you a happy birthday. Guys, we need a birthday song. Yeah, I won't be singing that one. Not unaccompanied. You made it to 58. Well, congratulations, sir. Well done.
Well done.
Fantastic.
Thank you for spending your birthday on here. So, pleasure.
Yes.
Good job, sir.
2.5 years older than me.
Yeah.
Which makes us the same, yes.
Yes.
Right.
We are a similar age, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And then Mike, of course, is the younger brother.
I'm the youngster.
He is.
I'm the youngster.
He is the mere.
Yeah.
He's just a wee lad.
I'm like the sapling.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Is it actually sapling or a strapling?
Well, it could be both.
I
feel like both.
It's just a tiny little bunny rabbit.
That's it. A little poppet. There we go. So if anyone wants to come and join in with me and these fine chaps, email me. Email's on the ticker at the bottom of the screen, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll send you an invite. Click on the invite and you're live on screen. You can join in this bass chat if you wish to do so. Gareth, not bass related, but Nuno's left Washburn, set up his own guitar company. I saw that yesterday.
Yep, did indeed.
Probably not before time. He should have done that about 30 years ago. He'd have cleaned up.
Big time.
He was probably responsible for a huge amount of guitars being sold in the early part of the 90s. 1990 through to about 94. He would have been a millionaire had he done that.
Many times over at that point.
That man shifted a lot of product.
Sure did.
And I'm not talking about hair either.
No. Well, we don't have to worry about that anyway, so yeah.
Well, no, I just remember girls everywhere going, I've got to have hair like Nuno Betancourt. It's like, right, okay. You do know he's a bloke.
Yeah, whatever you like to do.
It was a look. It was a look, wasn't it? It was,
yeah.
Long Portuguese, black, straight hair.
Yep.
I don't take 2 products into the shower.
Well, I don't have to worry about it because,
No.
Put the blade to it and everything is good.
Absolutely, yes.
And then we go visit Stacy for the touch up down here, which of course she said she was going to take this.
Yeah.
this lovely hair right here.
Very nice, yes.
There we go. Gareth, might be the end for Washburn, as he must have been holding them above water. Not sure about that. I think
they're owned by somebody.
His thing flew by 94. He was not a thing anymore after that, and the Extreme stopped for a long, long time. I know there was a bit of a resurgence for them about 10 years ago. But again, I can't see the Nuno guitar. I think it was called the N2, wasn't it? N2, and there was an N1, which was like the cheaper one. I don't see them being a big thing anymore. And certainly you don't see a lot, there's not a huge second-hand market for them. Although, back in the 90s, every kid wanted one of those. So, but I don't see them. You just don't see them. I can't say I sit here on eBay listings looking for Nuno Bettencourt Washburns, but it's not something you see often in second-hand shops or what have you. So I don't know what happened to a lot of them. And you know what? Apart from one guy that I know who's a big Bettencourt fan, he's the only guy I've ever seen using one on a gig.
I actually have a friend who has one of the headed Washburns that has the status bits in it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's an absolutely cracking thing. It's a
mid-90s. They were good. Yeah, with humbuckers.
The Washburn guitar brand is owned by the Canadian corporate group Exertis /Jam, formerly known as Jan Industries, and is controlled by its subsidiary US Music Corporation.
See, so Washburn hasn't been an actual brand name unto itself for quite a number of years.
It's the same as the Trace thing. It's just a brand name.
Exactly. It is a brand name that somebody in a corporate capital group perhaps has retained the rights to, and they have all of the designs and whatnot. So they go offshore and they have them built and they ship them in.
That's it.
But they've been Washburn honestly has been doing that since probably the late 70s, because all of those things, if you think back, the Force 40 basses, all those kind of oblong shaped with the reverse precision pickups and all that, those were all made in Japan. Because I had a couple of them back in the 80s. So, they were 250 in those days. They're not that much more now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If I can remind you, fine people who are watching the live chat tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. It'd be very much appreciated. I've just had a look at the views. We're well down.
Are we?
This is what happened when you change from horizontal to vertical and back again.
Crazy,
it's well down. It's an experiment, but it's clearly one that's backfired a little because we are radically down on what we normally get. So yeah.
Well, but we don't have the red alerts happening at all.
Oh,
we haven't had any of that.
Yes,
because we don't attract.
Yeah, we haven't had to speak about curry and pink straps because
no morons present.
That's correct. And I don't think you can't change the orientation once you're in the middle. Oh, can you? No,
once you're in,
they're disabled while live.
There you go.
There we go. It's all right though. I can go with it for a week.
Right.
We'll be back next week.
Oh yes. Yeah. Tell you what, you chaps carry on for a moment.
Here. That's what's important.
Yeah,
that's it. Important. You chaps carry on. I got to do something real fast, and I'll be back in a bit.
Ooh. I don't even want to ask.
No, we're not doing all that.
No.
This has nothing to
Wash
do
your
with
hands
the loo.
before you get.
Has nothing to do with the loo. So yes.
Is it sort of a beeping noise followed by a voice saying, "Caution! This curry is reversing"?
No, that was at lunch earlier. That's all been taken care of. That's all been sorted. No worries.
Leaving by the trap door.
That's right. The trap door's already been handled, so it's fine.
Too much
I shall be
info.
back. I shall be back momentarily.
Way too much info.
That's right. Way too much information. I shall be back.
Thank you,
Mike.
I'll
while I think of it, did you see the Mexican jazz power bass on
yes,
the bass chat classifieds? It's actually near me. It's about 6 miles away.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that coming to Bass Towers?
No. I did sort of contact the chap, but he wants the sort of lowest he'd take was about 520, and I thought, nah,
that's about what they go for.
Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah.
depending on the quality.
Not bothered.
No.
Yeah.
No. Gareth, not bass. We've done that. Sorry, I'm just going back through the messages. Yeah. BFB. Yeah. Gareth. Most of the guitars on the Washburn website are N4s. Yes.
Yeah.
Beat after beat, altered images. Happy birthday has always been your favourite birthday song. Claire Grogan. Now she was a lovely young thing.
She was indeed.
Though she's much older than me, obviously. Saying young, she'd be granny by now. But yes, very good. Very good. There we are.
Lovely.
Up to date.
Yeah.
We are up to date.
Up to date indeed. Yes. So I've
next
sold over the last week, by the way, I've sold 4.
Blimey. You'll be opening a business. You'll be doing bricks and mortar next.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
That's the next follow on.
Yeah.
Bricks and mortar, fill it with stock and sell it all.
That's right.
There we are.
Definitely.
So anyone that's watching the channel, next video actually could be up tonight before we get to midnight. So when this live chat finishes, I've got a video to watch that I've rendered, and I need to check that it's all okay. And if it is, it will be the demo for the Wilcock 102 medium scale bass. So if you've been seeing Viv Wilcock post pictures of a very nice red quilted I think it's maple. Let me just pull up the spec sheet. Let's have a look. Get it all correct. New Wilcock bass specs. Here we go. Medium scale. Alder body, book match quilted maple top, poly finish, roasted maple neck, cherry burst, wax oiled neck finish, 32-inch scale, 19mm string spacing. Ebony fingerboard, custom Armstrong 51p Alnico pickups, passive of course, volume, tone, 3-way selector switch, gold hardware, Gotto bridge, Hipshot ultralight lollipop machine heads, 4 kilograms in weight, strung wood Dunlop flats. So there's I think it's literally a 7.5 minute demo. So that'll be up. There'll be shorts on that tomorrow, and the review video, hopefully, fingers crossed, will go up on Friday. There'll be a bunch of shorts for those basses over the weekend, and then the demo and review of the short scale bass, which is in a sunburst finish with a tortoiseshell plate. That'll be up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Very good.
Lovely they are. With lovely price tags, of course. But with a Wilcock, you get what you pay for, and they retain their value. So if you go to sell secondhand afterwards, they pretty much stay roughly around the same price. So, I don't know if this is a limited model. I don't think so, but it's commemorating 10th birthday of Wilcock basses. So the short scale and the medium scale are quite fabulous. My preference was the medium scale. Tone was off the charts and lovely to play. Really good. Very good. Really good. All of his basses I've played have been short scale. This was the first medium I've actually played.
Yeah.
So it just sounds great.
About a sort of a 32-ish sort of.
It's 32-inch scale for the medium. Just sounded great with those pickups. Yeah. Balanced great. Played great. The neck was like super fast. Just lovely. But actually, what's the price? I think it's about $3,000. Let me just check, because they're at the gallery. Although I think the red one now's gone off to Danny Sapko, so that might not be there. But there's a black one, basically the same thing, but in a black burst finish. Let's just have a look. Manufacturer Wilcock could be what we're after. Not listed on there, so let's try that one. There we go. None of those are there. They're not listed up there, so maybe they've already sold.
All right, quick, isn't it?
They do go really quick. Every time he does like a special edition, he'll do like 4 or 5 special color finishes and what have you. Literally, they go in the gallery. They're sold within 2 days.
Flipping heck.
And then when they come in,
it's good, that.
people are part exchanging against other things, or they go on commission sales, they're straight back out the door again.
Yeah, brilliant.
So you gotta keep your eyes open for those things. But the lovely thing is you get good backup from Viv, and you get good backup from the gallery if you buy it from the gallery. So
yeah,
it's all good.
Very nice.
Like they did a range, I think that was about this time last year, the Malarkeys, they did a bass gallery specials. BG00, so they were numbered BG001, BG002, 3 and 4. Yeah. They all went for 2,950, and I think one or two of those have gone back up for sale, like the original owners have sold them on, and I think they went for exactly the same money again. So they're good basses. They hold their value.
Just actually having a quick peek.
They are lovely.
Yeah.
But if you want to see all the different ones, he's kind of got a limited selection on his website. If you go to the gallery, look under their ones, because they keep all the ones they've sold. The pictures are still up there. The thumbnails are still there. Yeah. Beat after beat. When is your next video working in the shop, Mike? Probably next week sometime. Haven't really got time to do a workshop video this week because I've got a show on Saturday and I've got loads of songs to learn for that. So that's taking up tomorrow and Friday. Sunday, I'm blood donoring in the morning and then going to see Young Gun Silver Fox in the evening. So then we're looking at Monday, but I'm here all week next week. So probably do one next week.
Yeah.
Who knows? Might do the live chat from it. I've done that before.
By the way, are you free on Saturday evening at all?
No, I'm doing my function.
Because
doing my function.
You'll be down
with young Matt. Yeah. No, I'm Saturday. I'm out of here at about 2:00. I'm playing in Marlow and wedding band, and kind of thrown together lineup. We all know each other, but never played together all in the same band. Yeah. So it's one of those. What's this? Electric Lower. Now I feel like a wee little kid. You're only 37. Enjoy it while you've got it.
I remember what? Oh dear, that's a long time
37.
Ago.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Glory days they were.
I was 37 in 2006. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. 2009 for me.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Beat after beat. Yes, you're just a kid, Lowen. There you go. It's fall here in the States. We have a heat wave coming this weekend.
Really?
Enjoy. Don't make the most. It's a long old winter.
Enjoy it,
yeah. Beat after beat. You love the workshop videos. Well, I'll do some more of them now. I've got the workshops tidy. I can go in there and do more. And I've got a couple of basses need setting up imminently for some Uncle Funk shows. So I'll do a bunch of them next week. Be sure to make sure you're subscribed. I know you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll get notifications when I go live, and you can quickly check, is he in the workshop or not? Easy. Chris, how long have Wilcock basses been available? 10 years. That's the reason for the 2 new basses. It's the 10th anniversary. I think I reviewed 1, 2, 3 or 4 at the mag. And then here on the channel, Viv very kindly gave me a bass literally about a month after we started this channel. So that was back in 2020. Little did I know, it came to me for review. It got picked up by the courier and then got shipped to Tim LaFay in America. So it was his bass. So that was all good. Andy Stratford's there. Hello, Andy. Welcome. Come on in.
Evening, Andy.
And then I had another bass from Viv last year, which was the H22, which is great. Actually, one of those is still available in the bass gallery. And then Viv contacted me about, I think in July, just said, you got room in your schedule to look at a couple of basses in September? I went, yep. Said, yeah, you give me enough of a head start, I can fit it in. It's no problem. So these 2 basses have been in the melting pot since July. And like I say, demo, hopefully I'll put it up live tonight. Review video maybe by Friday. And then the other bass next week.
Yeah.
All good. A message. B Electric Low and B. It's been like that here in Finland too. It's fall and you've got a heat wave. Enjoy it, lads.
Yeah,
Don't knock
definitely.
it. Don't knock it, because winter. They're saying here in the UK,
getting pretty cold here now.
Winter this year in the UK, because we've had a lovely extended summer. Winter this year could be horrific. So let's hope not.
Fingers crossed.
Beat after beat. Do a video washing your Aston Martin in the driveway. Aston Martin. You spell it. I saw Austin and I'm like, I'm not that old.
In Allegro or Cambridge or Maxi.
I'm not that old. Don't make me older than I am. If only. That'll be about another 10 years when this channel, the cogs finally turn. Gareth, any tips or exercise you can suggest for improving left-hand muting?
It's tricky though, isn't it?
Left-hand muting I always found is a practice thing.
Yeah, it is.
When you're not good at it, you think, how do I get this together? It's a slow process, and basically it's a fairly obvious thing that you're trying to do, which you're trying to mute the string from doing what it's doing. And it's a practice thing, and I'd set a metronome really slowly, and whether you're playing fingerstyle, pick or slapping, play a note and damp. And what you want to try and do is not have all your fingers flailing about. Make it a coordinated thing. So if you're fretting with one finger, make sure these 3 fingers or 2 fingers or 1 finger can work independently, but also work together. And you'll feel it in your wrist. It will be really tight. But over time and practice, that becomes more relaxed. I mean, I'm feeling it because I haven't had to do a lot of left-hand muting for a while. But once you can get those coordinated together, it becomes a lot easier. You can always know, or I know when I'm watching a bass player, if they're trying to mute and their fingers are all doing different things, they haven't got it together. They haven't practiced it. But it is a practice thing. Just set a metronome like relatively slowly, say 75, 80 BPM, and just, you can do it, like I say, slap, finger, pick, and just play a note and bring your fingers down on it so it mutes it. Now, if you want it to be a thud, like if you were slapping, so you would get a thud from your left hand and a thump. So donk, 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 that's fine. But if all you want to do is literally mute the note without a thump, it's just a case of resting your fingers against the string.
Yeah, that's right.
So you shouldn't have an audible thump when you're hitting back, but obviously part of slapping is getting that audible thump where the strings go against the fret once when you slap, and then again when you mute with the left hand. So you get donk, 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 and as you build up the speed, then it becomes a donk, 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 and it sounds like you're doing double the amount that you actually are. That's the illusion. Hang on, we got here Albriano. You're in South Texas. It's still in the 90s. Can I have some of that? Can you package some up, Al? Send it over. There isn't much of a winter here, much less fall, but I'm used to it. I can't stand the cold weather. Me neither. As I've got older, I hate cold weather. Never used to be a thing, but as you get older, you start to feel the cold more. I don't know why. Russell, good to see you. Another sneaky low-cost find is instruments from the time Samick bought Valley Arts. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Valley Arts. Now, there was a company.
Yeah.
Cool. They made some
nice stuff. Long
and they did basses as well.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
90s they were. Chris Morey, any backstory about the Wal influence body shape and the Wilcox? Yeah, it's not so much it's the Wal influence. I think it's more to do with Shergold and Marathon. You know, Mike Rutherford used to use those. Heyman as well. Heyman, Shergold. I think they're part of the same company. I could be wrong. I haven't done my research on that in a long while. But those are that shape, and Wal are derided, I think, from the original Shergolds and Heyman. That's the influence. That's the sort of family tree of those body shapes. But I don't know if there's anything on Viv's website talking about that. But feel free to get in touch with him. He's very talkative, and you can catch him on Instagram or email him via the website. And he's great, very quick to respond. I send Viv a message. I usually get a response within about 20 minutes. So it's all good. Beat After Beat, you're in Southeast Michigan. Okay. Born and raised in Michigan. It's my birthday. It's supposed to be cold, rainy, and leaves falling now. Mate, if it's sunny and warm, enjoy it. That's my suggestion there. Chris Morey, Valley Arts was right down the street from us. Wow. Before a vagrant set their building on fire. Did that lead to the company being sold out? Did they not recover from that? Because I remember they were like the desirable guitars and basses. Late 80s, early 90s, obviously Lukather, you using them. And a lot of the session cats were as well. Gareth, another Shure Gold user is Peter Hook. Correct.
Peter.
So, Mr. Stratford, you went to see young Mr. Goodfellow.
Yes, I did indeed.
How is he?
He's very well, thank you. Yeah, his
good.
His dear mum was there singing away to herself.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been very naughty. I'm having his. He's got a gorgeous black Spitfire.
Very good.
Which I'm hopefully getting on Saturday. So
great. So you're going to get all the profile and the string spacing how you want, and
yes, I am. Yeah. I had to go. I think it has some 40 gauge strings on it. On last Saturday, I've got him to put some 30s on it for me.
Right.
When I pick it up, it was the most phenomenal, gorgeous sound. Same electronics as the Ruma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. Enjoy.
I had to go, I'd say, on a whale bass.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really top heavy. So if you have it slung up and let it go, and then it goes that way.
That's it. And then you put the GB on, and it balances perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was.
It's a swamp ash body.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And another thing, the room was his friend Jim. You know, he's got a bit
yes,
Jim.
Jim's the guy I bought the white one from.
Oh, did he really? Yeah.
Over there. Yeah.
He's got my black room. He doesn't want to sell it, so that's fair.
No, Jim has one of the most enviable bass collections in the country.
Yeah. I was in the basement down there, and the guitars he's got, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Exactly.
Steinberger there for about 4 or 5.
He's got L serial number precisions and jazzes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they ain't going anywhere. He knows what he's got.
Yeah, Bernie's also got. It's been there for a few years. He's had Boone Gould's black guitar.
Oh yes, that's been there quite a while.
That used on the this is Running in the Family album.
Yeah, live at Wembley.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's just so sad. Telling all the stories about Boone and things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Bernie's got plenty of those.
He has, yeah.
Just a few.
Electric low end. Always great to be here, getting some knowledge what goes on in the bass world. Glad to be part of this great community. You are more than
absolutely
welcome, sir.
Me too. Yeah,
well done, sir.
Very much.
Hang on, just got to star these comments. Hold the bus. There we go. That's up to date. Chris, Valley Arts moved from Studio City to North Hollywood after the fire. I've no idea if they ever really recovered after that event or not. I remember hearing several celebrity guitars were lost in the fire. I didn't know it was because of a fire. Okay. Thank you. Cheers for the info. Gareth, as I mentioned over the weekend, I was at an open mic last week, was asked to play live. Love Will Tear Us Apart, and the guitarist capoed on the 3rd fret, and because the bass line uses open strings. You had to use a capo, the shame. It happens.
A bass guitar?
Yeah, on a bass, yeah, you can. You have to be careful though, because the strings are much obviously fatter than they are on a standard guitar, and sometimes the capo doesn't press hard enough down, so you'll be playing and it'll suddenly go and you hear, sounds like an old man dozing off in a chair. But you don't realize until it happens, so you still end up having to fret. But there we are. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Happy days. Yes, so there we go. It is just coming up 10 o'clock here in London town. Brooksy Bass Corner live chat 133. Don't worry, folks, I haven't lost height or had my legs broken. I'm just sat on a chair for a change. Been on my feet since about 11 o'clock this morning editing videos, so it was time to have a little sit down.
Good idea.
If people want football scores, in Champions League, Man City were playing Monaco, drew 2-2. Napoli beat Sport in Lisbon 2-1. Villarreal drew 2-2 with Juventus. For those of British persuasion, Arsenal beat Olympiacos 2-0. That's not really a surprise. I knew Newcastle had beaten Union Saint-Gilloise 4-0. Barcelona lost against PSG 2-1. Leverkusen PSV 1-1. Borussia Dortmund 4. Athletic Madrid 4-1. Crikey. Oh well, there's always next time, as I'm always told. But there we go. There we go. So that's the football scores this evening. I think is it Europa League tomorrow? Hold on. Yes, it is. All 425 fixtures. It never seems to reduce in that competition, but there we go. So if you've got any questions, bass questions, bass gear, basses, amps, effects, cleaning materials, strings, cases, great bass players, albums with great bass playing on. Just want to talk bass? Come on in. You can join me, Rich, and Andy. If you email me using the email address at the bottom of the screen, brooksyspacecorner at gmail.com. Email me. I'll send you an invite. You come on through. That's how it works. Simple as that. Gareth, tilt the camera down a little and you wouldn't notice. Yeah, but then you can see the floor. You can see the mess. Why do you think I have it that way, Gaz? Then you can't see it. There is method in the madness. When I said on last week's live chat, the view you had was the tidiest view there was, I wasn't joking. Last Tuesday, I had been videoing like a demon for 5 hours before I had to take those basses back to the gallery. And I got back from the gallery literally 17 minutes before the live chat started. This office was absolute devastation. Have you seen Threads? That's what my office looked like last week. So this week isn't too much better because I haven't been here for a couple of days. And we did the live chat thing on Saturday. And literally me sat on a stool up against those amps was the tidiest view you were going to get. So actually not until I get back from the gig on Saturday will I get time to tidy up this room. It's just the way it is.
Cheers, Chris.
However, cheers, Chris. Take it easy.
He's off.
Hopefully see you next week.
Absolutely.
A friend of mine, Barry Cree, used to run bass gear over in Twyford.
I know him. Lovely chap.
Yep. He's got set up a rehearsal space kind of over near Aldershot, Farnham Way. Contacted me at the weekend, let me know that there was this place for rehearsals, and I didn't even think at the time. And while we were chatting, I suddenly thought, how much do you charge for those rooms? He said, what do you want a room for? So I can film a load of stuff. It's got a load of space. He said, yeah, we can do your deal on a room. You want to come down here for 6 hours? That's all good. So might be going to see him in a couple of weeks. And I will script up all the stuff that needs filming.
That could also film it and help with our actual little idea.
I think we would need, we would need more than 6 hours for that. But also, I've got to find a way of making that work, because at the moment, I can't find a way to justify doing that that's going to bring thousands of views in. So I've got to work on the keywords and work on the vidIQ stuff to see how I can make that actually work. Because in principle, it'd be a lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
In actual reality, there's absolutely no point putting up something that could effectively be 2 or 3 hours long if it don't get any views. So I have to, in my head, I've got to make sure that vidIQ comes back with the stuff that says, yes, you should do this. So at the moment, I'm bashing all the info and the description and the keywords and all of that in, and it's saying 20%. It has to be up around the 70% to make it work. But those things change over time. So like ideas that I had 5 years ago, that when I put them in 5 years ago, it rated, don't do this. This is not good for your channel. Now is up around the 65%. So you have to find, it's not even a title and thumbnail thing. It's actually the content of the video, because vidIQ will tell me, don't do a video that's an hour and a half long that isn't a live chat, because no one is going to watch it. People that watch your channel expect 10 to 30 minute long videos. Anything longer than that, although the bass collection video is the exception, but I time that to perfection, because at that time there were a lot of people putting up their bass collections on YouTube. So I caught like the side, like the jet stream of that. It was like, oh, that's a good time to do that. So you have to factor those things in. Otherwise, we're going to spend the best part of 2 days filming a video that isn't going to get any views, which makes no sense whatsoever. So you, again, you have to, certainly with longer videos, you have to plan what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Because the other thing is, when you're like, when I do a demo or a review, it's quite bang, 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 and we rattle through it pretty quick. When you get into a longer form video, you have to be very wary that you're not wasting the viewer's time. So it can't be me and you there go, oh yeah, it's a very nice sort of maple fingerboard we got. Because people just go, I'm not watching this. So I've got to find,
thinking about it, we could do it as an actual chat.
We could, but again, what's the length of it once it's edited down? So on the one hand, you don't want to gloss, you don't want to gloss over it. Because if you don't go into enough detail, we lose the people who are well into their gear. But again, if you make it too long, the people that are new bass players or beginners will just go, this is totally over my head. I don't understand a word they're talking about. And you've got to kind of try and pitch it, which is where at the moment stuff on my channel has to be 10 to 30 minutes long, because after 30 minutes people just switch off. So it's the world of YouTube.
It is, yes, definitely.
It's a hard one to gauge. And I went through all this when I started the channel. My reviews were nearly 20 minutes long. And then after you've done it for 2-3 months and you've started to get analytics, because analytics at the start mean nothing, because there's no history. When you go in after 3 months and you see your 20-minute videos and people turned off after 30 seconds, it's a kick in the nuts. So I learned then that I needed to make the video shorter. And that's where the demos came in. So basically they're the same demos that are in the reviews, but they're without all the review contents. So they're talking about features and prattling on, which is, some people want that, but some people don't. They just want to watch a 5-minute video that gives them all the sound permutations and what a bass can do without any guff. And then I found that the demos were, if they were 5 minutes long, I was getting 90 seconds of view time, which is basically 30%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So suddenly my percentage view rate went from 5% to 30. It's like big change. And then but now over time, I've managed to get the reviews back to about 13-14 minutes and the demos up from 5 to 8, because if anything less than 8, can't run any adverts. But I try to sort of stuff the demo with as many sounds and tones and options. If it's a precision, I haven't got that luxury. But if it's a 3-band EQ bass with 2 pickups, or something like the Ibanez, where you've got 3-band EQ, 2 pickups, and a 3-way coil tap switch, there's like 45 chunks. Sorry,
permutations in there. Yeah.
But absolutely. All of this stuff you don't learn until you do it. So in my mind, I always thought, 20 minutes is fine for a review, and people only watch 30 seconds. It was like, can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have messages from Sim Hassel.
We do. Good to see you, Sim. Welcome for joining in. Welcome. That's 3 weeks on the trot. You'll be getting loyalty points at this rate. Joined for the evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Very good. Sad news on G&L. Absolutely. Let's see what happens as time goes by. We'll see who does buy it out and if anyone resurrects the brand. On a positive note, though, was in Anderton's recently. Had a go on the new Steinberger 5-string. Very good. Anyone seen those? Good, actually, yes. That. Would be great one for you to review. It would. I get suggestions from people on things that should be reviewed all the time. The situation with that is, if I'm dealing with a company or a distributor here in the UK and I know them through my magazine work, it's easy. If I ring up Sheldon Dingwall or speak to him on Messenger and say, Sheldon, can I have such and such a bass for a review? He says, yeah, I'll send one over to Mark or send it to me direct, and away we go. If I contact Barnes & Mullins, I can have anything from their warehouse. If I'm dealing with head stock distribution, I can get anything I want. If it's a company or a distributor and I've had no dealings with them through the mag when I was at the mag, I can't get anything out of people because we're too small a channel at the moment. We're coming up on 5,000 subscribers, which is fabulous, and we've just passed the 1 million view mark. But in terms of social media and followers and presence, I'm too small a channel, so I can't get anything. So the only way I can get stuff for review is to actually go and buy it. I can't do that. Although I do, and there are quite a few basses here in the collection that have been bought purely for that reason. The G&L I just bought was on that basis. I need to do some videos with that. I can't get one. There is no UK distributor, so I've had to buy one. But the thing is, I'm aware that bass will hold its value. The Ibanez Lakeland 4464. There's an Ibanez Tolman. A couple of other basses have all been bought for this channel. Not because I wanted them in my collection. Do you think I wanted an Ibanez SR300? I've got 3 Alembics sat there.
You've always wanted one, haven't you?
I've reviewed several over the years. They're great basses, but I knew that is the most bought Ibanez on the market. I've known that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right, definitely.
So it made sense to have a beginner's bass here on the channel. So that's why I went out and bought it. Yep.
Point in question with the Sims messages. Andertons, what's happened to the sound on their videos?
Couldn't tell you. I've never had
to about the past 3 or 4. Whenever they actually have a bass demoed, it sounds absolutely vile.
It's whoever's in charge of their media creation.
Yeah.
The weird thing was, we approached Andertons back in that's going back 2015 to do some review days down there, like we used to do at Bass Gear, like we did at Bass Direct, like we did at the Gallery, like we did at PMT. And I'd messaged them a few times, and we were at I was at a Nathan East clinic in Guildford, and Andertons were providing all the gear and stuff, but it was a thing through Yamaha and TC. That's right.
Yeah.
And I saw the bosses, and it wasn't Lee. It was a couple of other blokes from Andertons. And I said, hi, I'm Mike from Bass Guitar Magazine, blah, blah, blah. We're wondering if we could do some review days down at your store. It'd be great for us, great for you. We can cover a load of gear. If you've got any brands that need sort of, getting out there, we can include those in it. And they were like, yeah, great idea. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Never heard a thing. Chased them up on it. I had numbers, emails, the lot. Chase them up, like once a month. Try and get Andertons on board. Nope. And clearly they knew they were going to do a YouTube channel, so they didn't want to do it. And that was that. Nothing. And I've approached them multiple times. I know some of the staff. I play in band, or have played in bands with some of the people that work down there, trying to get gear out of them for review and demo. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. Oh, and why would they? They have their own YouTube channel.
Well, true. Yeah.
They can keep everything in-house. Nothing leaves the warehouse or the building. And they're, you know, broadcasting out to millions of people worldwide.
Yeah, they are.
So they don't need someone like me. So trying to get sire stuff. I know people have been in here on the channel before saying, can you do some sire reviews? I can, but I'm going to have to go and buy them myself. And then I've got to sell them on afterwards. And it's like, it's too tricky. And they are the UK distributor. So I've got no way around it unless I go down to Anderton's and say, look, can you guys give me a couple of basses to review? I'll do them. Then I'll bring them back. But something tells me they're not going to go for it, but I can try.
Yeah,
I can try. Sim, Strandberg Bowden, I think it is, perhaps been around a while, but really different necks on it. If I can get one, I'll review anything here on the channel. But, you know, bass companies, manufacturers, distributors, if you send stuff, I can review and demo it. If you don't send me anything or don't get in touch, I can't. Unless I go and buy it. And I don't have bottomless pockets, and the channel isn't big enough to justify that sort of thing. I bought a bunch of the Sonicake pedals up here because I can't get anyone at Sonicake to send me anything. So I had to go and buy them myself. Thankfully, those pedals are only like 25, 30 quid each. So it's not a big expense. But no, trying to get the big manufacturers to send me stuff is really hard, really difficult. But that's how you make the channel grow. Is you send me the stuff, people will watch the reviews and the demos and all that, and my channel grows. Your products start flying off the shelves. That's how it kind of works. That's the principle. Whether it actually happens or not is another thing entirely.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, sort of thing, isn't it?
Well, no. So I was having a chat with someone earlier today, and they said, the thing I like about your channel is you're not beholden to anyone. No one's got you in their back pocket. And I said, no, and no one ever will. I don't take backhanders for good reviews. I've had like this company, Joyo. I don't know if you've seen their pedals on Amazon.
Yeah, I have,
stuff. I keep getting loads of emails from them. And I've not replied to the latest one because I got approached by what I didn't know was it's their Amazon team about a year ago to do some work reviewing pedals. And it turned out basically what they were doing were approaching people like me, getting us to produce the video. So create the video, film it, script it, blah, 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 blah. You got to send the pedal back at the end. And by the way, the video is our property. To which my response was, well, are you paying me for this? No. I said, right, so I'm allowed to say that your pedal's crap if I think it's crap. No, it's got to be positive. It's like, right, so what am I actually getting out of this? And they all went quiet. I said, well, and then they came back and said, oh, well, are you going to do the video? I said, I'll put it up on my YouTube channel and then you can link through to it. That's my payback, is people watching my video. No, we own the copyright on the video. I said, well, then you better find someone else. What's the point in that? Yeah. So they're going around all these creators who clearly haven't thought what the economics of this are. Oh, yeah, I'll make a video for you. You get nothing out of it. And you're not allowed to say it's crap if it's crap. So my whole thing will always be, someone sends me something and it's crap, I'll say it's crap. And if it's really good, I'll say it's really good. I will justify, if I say it's crap, I will explain why. It won't just be, oh, well, it's rubbish. I'll tell you why.
You can't lie. You just can't lie about it.
Yeah.
I can't ever have someone watch a review or a video, or when I did the reviews for the mag, and take my word as gospel, go out and try one, buy one on what I've said, and then go, it's a load of old rubbish. You said it was great. No. So like the Yamaha BB235 that is in there, Yamaha sent me one for review. Great bass, really good, great value for money, but the hardware is crap. The tuning pegs, you play any of the open strings, the hardware rattles and you hear it go.
Oh,
as soon as you put your finger against each one, it's perfectly all right. Yeah. But they sent that to me for review. No one checked it. So I have to flag that, because in the video you would have heard, I'd play an open string and you'll hear it go. Can't have that. Can't have that at all. So I had no qualms about putting that in the review video. And if you watch that, it's one of the most watched videos here on the channel. I think it's like the 4th or 5th most popular video. At the very front of the video, you'll see, before we even get into the review, I got to tell you this. Play this B string, and you hear it going. Blah, 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 blah. As soon as you hold the tuner, play the string again, it
disappears.
Right. Yeah. So I have to say all that, and I couldn't live with myself if I said something was great and it was rubbish because someone has given me a backhander. I'd rather just not do the backhander bit. So I retain the right to exercise copyright control on these things. Zoom, here he is.
Hey, hey, hey.
He's here.
Hey, Mr. Zuma. Good evening.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You're covered up with the comments. Hold on. I'm going to change the screen layout. There we go.
There we go.
We're all here.
There we are.
Speaking of that, I wanted to tell you, in case you didn't know, I was watching on the TV, on my TV over here as I was counting down my lunch. The comments overlap each other. When there's like a highlighted comment, it's right over the other comments. So it just...
Oh, right. Okay.
What, as I go through, when I star them?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
So that is over the feed you just turned off.
Okay. Oh, right. So there was, so there's a thing here called show comments on stage, which I've turned off. I can turn it back on and it will fire up.
As long
you
can still
eventually.
Yeah. It says it's on, but I'm not seeing it on the screen.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, I see it. So yeah, I guess when you star it, it just goes right over that one. At least on the TV.
Okay.
You're like, oh wait, where am I looking at here?
See, I was led to believe you star them, and that helps with how the video is within the algorithm.
Probably it does.
I don't know.
Yeah. If at least on the TV, maybe there's a way to move the regular comments to another corner.
This is all from within StreamYard. So again, every week StreamYard are adding new features and taking others away, and you literally have to have a re-education every week.
Yeah.
I'll check it out after the weekend. I need to come into StreamYard and catch up. No, I wouldn't see it because all I see is the interface I've got in front of me.
Yeah.
You're watching it on the TV, which is what the world is seeing. I need to know that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the YouTube TV app is doing something different too. So.
Highly likely.
Yeah, probably.
Highly likely. And the thing is, they keep changing everything. So you just get into a way of doing something like I was with StreamYard at the start of the year. And literally every week there's every time I log in on a Tuesday night to come into this studio, there's like 10 new features. I can't keep up with it. I don't use this every day. I use it maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and it all adds up. So how are you? How's your video doing?
Pretty good. I think, I know what's good for the channel, let's say, but I don't always follow what's good for the channel. I usually do whatever the heck I want because I have the luxury of doing that, I guess. But anytime I do a Duran Duran classic, that's when the comments come flooding in, but it's not like it used to be, when I used to upload videos in, way back, late, early 2000s. I mean, I guess it was just a matter of not many people were doing bass videos or
I think now it's an oversaturation thing.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I'd get comments in the hundreds back then without trying at all.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky nowadays to get, I'm just like on a popular, let's say the one I just did, Hold Back the Rain. I'm lucky if I get 50 comments. Like that's high. That's a big.
I don't get that. I'm lucky if I get about 4 on a video.
But see, if it's not a popular video, I'm lucky if I get 4. Like if I choose to do a song that I just like, but let's just say it like it's a B-side for all intents and purposes. 4 or 5 comments.
That's most of my videos though.
You're doing what you love.
That's it. But if I go in, hang on, if I just call up if I go on most popular video.
But I also think, Mike, that over time, people have just commented less. Like I feel like there was more interaction before.
Oh, so, much.
Like you said, everything's always changing, and some of it is long term, like this.
Well,
where all
it's
of a
like
sudden,
I say,
nobody's commenting.
Like I say, you know, all I ever ask now, I don't ask for subscribers, but if you could like the video, in fact, it costs you nothing. All it is a mouse click or a tap on a screen.
Yeah.
The Danny Sapko video that went one of the shorts last week. 19,000 views. I think I've got about 200 likes.
Wow.
And it's
that's pretty amazing.
All you've got to do is just tap the screen. It means so much, because that is what it's the likes, shares, and comments that project the videos through the algorithm, not hitting subscribe or any of that.
Yeah.
People just won't do it. It's almost like, I'm not going to help you get further. I don't want you to get further. All you got to do is hit the like button. That's it.
Yeah. Takes,
I've heard
no effort, does it?
Stop looking at subscriber counts, because that's not really a good indication.
I think it's going to go. I think within the next 12 to 18 months, it's going to go.
Yeah.
It means nothing. You can look, I've got 4,600 he says, looking at the number, 4,654 subscribers. My most watched video is 26,000 views. So I don't have, all those people aren't subscribed, but then likewise, how many of my videos have reached 4,654? Not that many. So even with the subscribers, and a lot of the time YouTube isn't telling them there's a video there.
Right.
So,
I was just about to say that even if I look at my own channels that I personally subscribe to, and I do the bell, and they all not personalized or the other one, so it's like full-fledged subscribe. I don't get it. So it's not enough to be subscribed and hit the bell and all that. If you're not engaged with that channel, it won't show you notifications. And even then, sometimes it doesn't show you stuff.
Nope.
So I don't know.
I remember it last year when I was doing, actually the year before, when I was doing the bass string experiments. So I was producing videos like every week after the gigs, and people would come on the live chat and go, I didn't know you'd done a video.
Right.
There's with 3 last week. I didn't get any notifications. Are you subscribed? Yes. Is the bell turned on? Yes. Everything.
Yes.
And it's like,
that doesn't matter.
What is the point? Which is why I don't ask people to subscribe on the videos anymore. If you want to, great, fabulous. I'll take it. Great thing. But it doesn't mean anything.
Do you get that weekly video? Do you get the weekly email from YouTube that says, like, this is your weekly recap?
Yes.
So for my videos, the number one reason, though it fluctuates, and the number one reason, or like, this is how people found your video. They always talk about the latest video you do. For me, it says up next. So it's never, somebody that subscribed or somebody that clicked on a notification, or it's always up next. So it's just like almost like random chance. Like they were showing them the feed and they said, oh, that looks good. I like that song. So they clicked it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't think subscriptions and notifications.
Do you watch that within the app?
Yes.
It should be on your analytics page. It comes under the views. Yeah.
That's how it comes up. I said it was an email, right? But it's not really an email. It's a notification from the YouTube Studio app. Yeah. There you go.
So you get it. You should have the weekly one and the monthly one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And it's just a curiosity for me. Like I said, I have the luxury of just do it for fun. But gosh, I would hate to be in a position where I was depending on that money. And I shouldn't say that because I might be in that position.
I'm trying to get in there. I'm trying to do it, but it's a slow build unless
it's a slow build, right?
Unless you do finance. If you do a financial channel, the RPM and CPM are huge because people want to know how to make money.
Yeah.
But for us doing bass stuff, we're in the wrong area, but it's what I do. And the whole premise of this channel was to replace what I was doing for the magazine.
Right.
So I can speak with a certain level of authority, having done it for nearly 40 years. That makes sense. My next channel will probably be one on the dogs, and then I'll do a video game channel, and I'll do another and all of that. Yeah. Well, the hounds, it's a ready-made content. Every day's different,
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And housewives love a 3-legged chihuahua, so they'll watch those 30-minute videos, and I'll take the advertising.
Hang on, what are we talking about now here?
Yeah, but there are people that literally just watch pet videos.
It's got 3 legs.
That's just weird, though.
He's got 3 legs. He must be great. Yeah, but he's got the mind of a criminal genius.
Although, of course, people probably think we're odd. So,
well, we spend our Tuesday nights writing lists. So.
I love lists. Who doesn't like a good list?
This is the conundrum, isn't it? That video got over 1,500 views at the time in real time.
Absolutely amazing.
Tonight we barely scraped 100.
Yeah,
because we're in horizontal format.
We aren't vertical anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is old school. I like old school.
Yeah, I do.
Old school looks better on a TV, but it's not going to get the views, as we're finding out, because I'm watching the analytics as we're going. And this has had, as of 10:30, we've been going 2.5 hours, we've had 91 views.
So I thought the whole point of going portrait was so that you could fish out shorts, or you could let it fish out shorts.
Well, there is that. So because tonight was the 1st of October, I thought we'll just go back, and I wanted to see what the analytics did. It's confirmed everything I thought. So last week's live chat. Okay, so the live chat I did on the weekend with the G&L, which was just a Frimicking video, that got just under 1,000 views. Last week's live chat got 496.
496.
So last week's 496, so 500. So if I scroll back to the Lee Sklar one, which was the first one we did in that portrait
format,
that got, where are we? Gone past it there, Mike. It's July the 1st. That got 3,330 views.
Wow.
The video that I did about 2 weeks before that, which led to me moving the format, was one I did outside on a Friday night when I didn't have a gig. Hang on, let's get to that. And that was an experiment, because I had nothing to do that evening. I thought, I'm just going to do a live chat sat in the garden. And that got 3,282 views. Just me sat at my table in the garden with a bass in my hand.
You were drinking wine as well, weren't you? In the garden.
That's a possibility. It was the one I had Betsy. I had Betsy on a strap.
Really? Yeah.
Gosh. And it was a 2.5 hour live chat, 3,282 views, which made me then think, as I kept trying little testers, there's something in this vertical format. There's something that's it's kicking in the numbers, because all the ones I did after that had over 1,000 or more. So yeah, but you learn all this stuff, and you have to do these little experiments. I don't know if it'll come back around that the vertical format will work again. It might or it might not. But last week's one only got 450 views. So
I wonder if more people would watch this format, landscape in on replay though.
On what?
On replay, like not live, but they'll watch it later when you repost it.
It does. So the thing that creates the big amount of views is the fact that if you're in vertical format, it gets fed into the shorts feed, and there's a thing within YouTube called the vertical stream feed.
Yeah,
that's where all the views were coming from.
Right, okay.
But does it attribute the views to the shorts it makes, or does it attribute them back to the main video?
Phones and things, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right.
Right. Say again, Rich.
Because of course people are actually viewing it on phones.
Viewing it on there. So the analytics for the vertical stream live chats was saying mobile totally off the charts. TV, PC, desktop, phone, like 85% of the views were coming from people on their phone, which is also why we got so many nutcases coming in.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Right. So what was your comment you just said, Zuma?
Oh, if the views for the generated shorts get attributed to those shorts or back to the main video, I would assume to the
back
shorts.
To the main...
Back to the main video?
Oh, what? When I pull out?
Yeah.
Do you mean when I do a remix?
Yes.
It goes to the short.
Oh, okay.
That's seen as a separate video. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a funny old world. People that aren't in it, like I try and talk to my mum about this, and she said it's like you're talking gobbledygook, and I might as well be, because she has no concept of like what they see is what we present out on screen. They don't see all the back end, which is like pages and pages of boxes and checklists and putting text in here and doing this and and that is actually what takes up the time.
Making the thumbnail, don't forget about that.
Coming up with titles, title generation, as I was saying to Rich just a minute ago. I spend hours and hours, I can spend days on keyword research because it's just a nightmare. And it's even harder for those channels, like if you're doing like a response to news stories or sport, how you can do your keyword research, you can't, because things change within an instant. You've got to do a video within like 2 minutes in order to get into the slipstream of that. None of my stuff is ever like something's happened and oh Christ, I've got to do a video on that. I can plan my topics of conversation quite a way in advance, but
and
that's another... the joy of using vidIQ. You get that to do the bulk of the work for you, and you put your search terms in, which is why I sent you that message saying Duran Duran is one of the highest searched terms at the moment.
Right, well, that's part of the reason I did hold back the ring. I was going to
gone 70%. It's gone over 70%.
Yeah, I was going to do something on the fret list while I had it, but I said, nah, you know what? Let's throw a Duran in there. You know.
So more of that.
Yeah, I know.
It's good. Do you use sorry, it's turned to a YouTube chat, but it's fine, it's relevant. Do you use vidIQ? Because there's a free Chrome extension which gives you some of the functionality but not all of it. I have the full paid up bells and whistles thing, and once you get that, it's like, whoa, it's like Aladdin's cave of tools.
I almost don't want to know, because what I do, seriously though, excuse me, because what I do at work, probably half the job anyway is look at data. I'm not a full-blown data analyst, but I do help, the guy, my right-hand man, who does most of it. And anyway, if I get into that frame of mind with the YouTube stuff, I think it'll take the fun out of it, and for me, I again, I'm doing it for many reasons, but let's just say it's for fun, and I want to take the fun out of it.
That's fair enough. No, I do that.
I mean, you do too. I mean, it's
I'm coming at it from another angle, because I see this as like an income stream for me for the rest of my life as gigs slow down, which they inevitably will as I get older.
Exactly.
But also, I'm feeling that on the London scene anyway. There's far fewer gigs and opportunities than there were before.
Yeah, live music is just not what it was in here in Los Angeles either. That's for sure. I mean, you got to be in a cover band, or maybe like a really good jazz band that gets good gigs, good high-end gigs to make any decent money. Otherwise you're relegated to $80, $100, and for all that work, it's hardly worth it. I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm quite. I see it that as the situation has changed and the market has changed, I'm actually in a relatively good position, because I get paid a lot more for the gigs I do. I just do fewer of them. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm working smarter, not harder. I can do 3 gigs instead of doing 6 and get the same money or more, which I'm fine with. But it annoys me when I look at people I used to work with and they're out. Well, they're not actually, because there isn't that level of work, but they're out 3, 4, 5 nights every week. Whereas like at the moment, I've just had 3 weeks off, got 1 gig this week, 2 next week, 3 the week after that, 3 the week after that. And then we're in the run up towards Christmas, and it gets a bit mental. But
right.
I'd rather do 3 gigs for the money of 6 and not do 6 gigs. So that's just the way I see it. But this is the extra income stream until I'm ready to go in my box, Just hope I have enough topics of conversation between now and then. Otherwise we run out of ideas. But that's where you start to then have other channels and other things. So if one takes a dip or viewing numbers drop, the other one picks up. And It's all good. I can see messages. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on the messages. Stacey's there. Albriano says, "Hey Zuma, what bass is that there behind you?" Yeah, what is that? Is that an Yamaha?
That's the Yamaha. Yeah, here, I'll give you a better view of it. The BB 3000S. So this is the passive one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that we're in this format, you can bass better.
That's very nice.
So yeah, I haven't done a thing to it since I got it. Same strings.
You should do a video. My advice to you:
it's coming.
As a YouTuber of 5 years, anything Yamaha, do a review.
Yeah, I want to, and it's a fabulous sounding bass. And
Yamaha, Ibanez, and Aria guaranteed high views.
Yeah. I'm so behind on. I'm glad you brought this up because I'm so behind on bass review videos. I probably have 4 basses that I need to do a video on because they're new to me. But I always struggle with what the heck am I gonna play? And so yeah, I actually, when you were doing the G&L video, I was kind of chuckling to myself because I always gravitate towards thank you for letting me be myself, and I heard you doing that a bunch of times. I was like,
I don't know why that's in my head.
Like, yeah.
Do you know what? I've been watching a couple of Bobby Vega things, just having them on when I'm in between jobs, and he sometimes falls into that riff, and I think it was just an earworm. And it's just something that I can play very quick and very easy. I'm always wary I might get a copyright strike. But for some reason, it never gets picked up as being the main melody because there's no vocal on it.
That's pretty good.
So it's like, well, I'll just play that. And those videos, when I like the one for the G&L, I apologize to people after I watch it because my playing is not polished in that realm, in that domain. I'm just literally playing on the fly. And I'm the worst person. If you took me to a bass store and say, "Oh, try a load of basses," I'm the worst person to listen to and watch because I'm not in performance mode. I'm playing and testing stuff out as though I were reviewing it. And I always used to say when I used to go to the bass stores and do reviews, please don't judge me on what I'm playing because this is not how I play on a gig. I'm doing pinched harmonics. I'm slapping in different places. I'm playing with fingers in different. None of this is cohesive. The funny thing was, my mate Nick Owen, who used to work at the Bass Centre, and I hope the guy I'm about to mention isn't watching, and if he is, I'm really sorry, but this puts things into context. So we have a band here called the Brand New Heavies, and their bass player is a guy called Andrew Levy. Outstanding bass player, like real groove master, and. I remember talking to Nick, this must have been like 2001, 2002. And there was a bunch of us just stood around drinking coffee, having a chat. And someone brought up the topic, who has come into the Bass Centre that has disappointed you most with their free-form playing, if you would call it that? And he said, mate, I really expected Andrew Levy to just rip it up and be amazing. He said, he wasn't in the slightest. It sounded like he couldn't put a riff together. And yet, if you go and watch a Brand New Heavies live, they're amazing. But it's exactly the same with me. If you put a drum machine on and I'm playing along to that, or even just a metronome, I'll start digging out some funky riffs and stuff. But here, when I've got nothing going on in the background, I'm just frimicking. But that video I wanted to do last week, because I just bought the bass and I didn't know any of the sounds. And Rich was asking me, and I had other people messaging me going, how's that G&L? How's that doing? How's it sound? What are all the sounds like? And I thought, I haven't even plugged it in yet. I've had it for nearly a week and I hadn't connected it to an amp or anything. And I was like, I don't know. I thought, right, set yourself. And I had Saturday afternoon with my other half was out, and I thought you can actually plug in and make some noise. So let's just film it. And people all this week, because the whole thing with G&L have been going, that bass you bought, is it really good? And I can go there, watch that video. You'll get an idea of the sounds, but don't hold me for the playing because I'm just noodling about. That's right. Yeah. That's not me playing professionally. That's me just finding sounds and, you know, changing controls and seeing what it does. So yeah. That's that. Poor Andrew Levy. Andrew, if you're watching, that wasn't meant in a nasty way. I've interviewed him. He's a lovely guy.
I will counterbalance. I will counterbalance that because well, the entire band is great, but him in particular, I had no idea who he was. But anyway, all I know is that I was probably like in my mid-20s, and I remember hearing the song "Fake."
So it was like last week then.
Yeah, thank you. No, not at all. It was a long time ago.
How does he look so young?
I have no idea.
Been to the fountain of youth.
My mother. I gotta thank my mother.
I'll have a pint of what he's having. Yeah.
We can arrange that. It's not fancy stuff. Although I do love beers that follow the so-called German purity law. Those are my favorite.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just 3-4 ingredients. Tasty. You guys are getting one. I can't even. That's too early.
He's off down the pub in a minute.
Yeah, right. Beer time.
So that song "Fake," it's not even that complicated of a line, but the feel is great. The tone, he always has a great tone. It's a great tone.
That album's great.
And I don't know what interview I read. It might have been the one you did, but I was so surprised that he kind of fell into it. He wasn't like a bass player from 5 years old. He totally fell into it, which probably explains why he just wasn't going to do anything impressive at the music store. But that whole album, I don't remember what the name of the album is. I mean, I have it on CD. I went Brother Sister. I went out and bought it, and all the tones are amazing. And there's a variation there too, even though he's probably just playing his jazz bass the whole time.
He was a big Stingray player. It's Stingray Jazz Precision. Every time you saw them on the telly, it was one of those three. And then the following album, Shelter, which is the one with Saida Garrett. That's when he had his Warwick endorsements. The tones are all different. You've got that MEC snap, crackle, and pop going on.
And I also love, and I can't believe I'm blanking out on this one, but they did an album that was just them and rappers, I guess. And that album
was that before amazing. Brother Sister?
No, it was after. Yeah, it was after. And I remember that album very specifically because that's one of the only albums that I had it on CD that somebody stole from me at a house party. So that always just, so I had to buy it twice, but just goes to show you how good it was. Somebody looked at it and said, "Oh my God, it's hard to find." So they took it, jackasses.
Yeah. There's anyway, the very first album that came before Brother Sister.
Yeah.
It's like an acid jazz album. And it's amazing. And I didn't buy it. And it used to be in all the record shops. It's like 1990, 91, because Brother Sister was 94. And I used to see it all the time. I kept thinking, you need to buy that. You need to. And I never did. And I'm gutted because it was like all the sort of stuff that I like. Yeah. And I didn't buy it. I'm just trying to see.
I just looked it up and you might be right. But so first album.
It's called the Brand New Heavies.
Brand New Heavies,
1992.
Right. Now the album I thought was after Brother Sister wasn't. It was midway. So in 92, this one is called Heavy Rhyme Experience, and then Brother Sister was in 94.
Right. Yes. There's
that
three.
Heavy Rhyme Experience. I can't recommend it enough. And I'm not even the biggest just rap fan in general, but it is just live music. I mean, it is good.
The very first, I'm looking at Discogs. The very first one on there, it says Brand New Heavies, blue cover with a sun and an elephant in the middle. 1990. My mate Vic, if you're watching, Vic, I think he's got that on vinyl. That is killer. If you
I gotta listen to that one. I'm not sure if I've listened to that one. I actually seeked out
that kind of goes back to when acid jazz was just starting to appear in the UK, and it sort of crossed over at the same time that grunge took off.
As acid jazz, you're right. Yeah.
What's the what's the album with Sometimes?
That's Shelter.
Was it Shelter?
Shelter. That's 1997.
That's a correct.
Yeah. But that's a great album. I used to have in my car back in the old days when you used to have a tape player. I had Brother Sister on one side and Shelter on the other, and I just keep flipping the cassette.
Awesome.
I think I wore it out.
So funky. They're such a great band, and he's
great band. Still going.
Yeah.
Their percussionist is Lily Gonzalez, who's also the percussionist for Tony Hadley. And she's also percussionist and keys for Faithless.
Really?
She's a good woman to know. She's a good woman to know. And she's a big Prince fan, so yeah, I can't talk highly enough of her.
Is she the one who has the sort of stand-up wrapped percussion, and she actually plays other things as well?
Yes, I think
viola as well and other things.
She might do. I don't know,
because I think I saw her in concert with Joe Jackson years and years and years ago.
Possibly. She's been on the circuit for years. She knows so many players. She works a lot with a lot of the 80s and 90s acts when they do the festival stuff. So she's always working. Always working. I'm quickly going to rattle through these messages. Stacey, hey fellas, moving furniture this afternoon. Have you all coming forth in ringtones in my car? You've nicked my saying there. That's mine. I've got copyright on that. Beat after beat saying hello. Duran Duran's always a winner, of course. That's all good. Gav Harrison, would AI like Chat GPT help with that side of things? Highly. This is going back 20 minutes or so in the conversation. Yes, it would. AI is redoing Duran Duran videos now. It doesn't surprise me.
I have not seen that.
I'm Maiden as well. You've got to spill your youth secrets, Stacey says. He's just a clean living boy.
Drink a beer a day. I don't know about clean living.
Gareth, I've been listening to Done and Dusted by the Dust Junkies. Yes, we've spoken about them before recently. Steve OJ's playing on that is superb. A lot of the stuff, there was some really overlooked stuff in the 90s, just got glossed over for things like Oasis. But if you dug a little deeper, you could find some great bands. There was a band called Mother Earth that actually were on the same circuits, Brand New Heavies and Jamiroquai. Mother Earth were great. I'm still in touch with their bass player, Neil Corcoran, and he's a player. He's a player and a half. But they were all on the same circuit. You could go to a university summer ball and all three of those bands would be on the same night. Great.
I'll have to check them out. Mother Earth.
The first album and the second album's called The People Tree. First album, second album are fab. Third album takes a little more getting into because that came out sort of around about mid-90s. Tastes had changed a bit by then. But all three of them are great. Bass players, outstanding.
Are you sure it's Mother Earth?
And on top of that, if you're gonna start delving deep into that sort of stuff, Freak Power. They had an album called Drive Through Booty. Bass player is a guy called Dale Davis, who is Amy Winehouse's bass player, as well as doing hundreds of sessions. I used to follow Freak Power around. Their live show was off the charts. Check out Drive Through Booty. Fatboy Slim is the guitarist. That was the project he did before he became Fatboy Slim. So he's on guitar, Dale's on bass. They had a drummer called Jim Carmichael, I think. Hammond keys, really funky, like very Sly Family Stone, a lot of James Brown vibe in there. The guy that ran it is a guy called Ashley Slater, who's still going, and Freak Power's still going in a slightly different form. And he was vocalist and trombone player. Before Freak Power, he was in a band called Micro Groove, who used to play all around London with like a big horn section, really funky bass, funky drums. Actually, the rhythm section from Freak Power with the rhythm section in Micro Groove. It was like a progression of the band. But Drive Through Booty is the album. It's really good.
All right. That's another one to look at.
I literally could have worn my CD out. I played it to death. But I used to follow them around the London gigs. So there was the Astoria, Jazz Cafe, Borderline. Where else did I see him?
A
couple of other places.
Found it.
But they were actually one of the support bands for Jamiroquai on the Space Cowboy tour.
Yeah. Those are good memories for me. If those two bands in particular, Brand New Heavies and Jamiroquai, those again. Heard them and said, "What is that? I got to get it."
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So they're definitely doing something new as well.
In actual fact, the album that Traveling Without Moving.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah. who actually played it? Was it
Stuart Zander?
Zander, yeah, okay. Thought so.
Yeah, Nick Fife came in on the next album.
Yeah.
Nick Fife came in on Synchronized.
I saw a video that said, what was it, that Runaway wasn't actually...
Runaway wasn't an
Paul
album
Turner
track, it was
even.
a single.
That
It was a
wasn't
single
even Paul
to
Turner.
go. No,
I
possibly
forget what
not. It might have been Derek McKenzie. Sorry, what am I talking about? Not Derek McKenzie. Derek McIntyre. Yeah, Derek McIntyre. He was the guy that did Don't Give Hate a Chance with that bass line. He died about 2 years ago. Car accident in Watford up the road.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Sad.
Horrible.
Amazing player. He was the bass player on Starchild on the Dynamite album as well. Actually, Dynamite album's got great tracks all over it. But they had like 2 or 3 different bass players. That was the album where Paul Turner came in, but he wasn't on much of the album.
If funk bass players don't get writing credit on the song, I think that's a travesty because
definitely
the bass line is such an integral part of that genre. Yeah. And
Speak the Bootsy.
Right. Well,
how many James Brown songs
he did tell James Brown to take a hike
for?
eventually, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, how many of those songs would be what they were?
Sorry, Give Me Java. Good to see it. I loved when funk bands had solid horn sections back in the day. We have a horn section in Uncle Funk. It just takes everything up another level.
Totally, yeah.
It's great. Electric Low End, Ready Freddie Washington. He is a fantastic bass player. Yes, he is.
Of course,
His bass lines are ringing in my ears non-stop. Is that because you've listened to those or because you've banged your head on a mangle? I'm just asking the question. I don't know. You give me the answer. Kev Allen, good to see you. Long time no see. The predominant bass used by punk bands always used to be the P bass, correct? Now it seems to be Music Man Stingrays. Any ideas why? Probably because the Stingray cuts through
it does.
better in a noisy, distorted guitar, bish bash bosh drum kit. A Stingray will cut through all of that better than a P bass. That's not taking away from what a P bass will do. Just a Stingray is louder, more harsh, punch you in the face, teeth-shattering treble. We haven't even got to the bass end, so that's why I would say.
What is considered punk nowadays? I mean, for me, punk is
Green Day,
Black Flag, and China White, and they had a very
Green Day,
Blink
182. It's 90s, but it's become the predominant thing. Danny Sapko, that's modern day punk. There we go. Bless him. Bit of both agree. Kevin Allen, Bootsy, to get credit, had to form the Rubber Band. That's exactly right. He was just there with his brother in that band. I mean, what a band to learn your chops on. But yeah, there would have come a point where Mr. Brown wasn't relinquishing the dollars. All right. He probably thought, I've got to go if I want to pay the rent.
Probably Larry Graham too, right? I don't know. Maybe they were more. Maybe. I
don't know what the whole thing with Sly was.
Giving,
maybe.
I heard he got out for his safety, but I don't know what that was all about.
Larry and I did go into a bit of that when I interviewed him.
Oh, you talked to Larry?
I interviewed him in 2013. He was like, I did
Is that on the
bass
channel?
guitar. Funnily enough, it is.
It is.
I'm gonna have to go to the interviews playlist along with John Taylor, Billy Sheehan, Marcus Miller, Glenn Hughes, Paul Turner, Doug Wimbish, Chris Squire.
Let's plug it up.
How many more do you want? Yeah, do.
I didn't.
So it's audio. There's no video.
No, that's totally fine. I'm sorry I interrupted you. So what did Larry say about that?
Yeah, we had a chat about the breakup of Sly. I can't remember straight off the bat. Let me just, if I call up the text to the interview, I can tell you. Because I know exactly where in the paragraph it comes. Wrong drive, Mike. It's that one. Interviews. Larry Graham, 2013. Feels like yesterday, but it wasn't. Interview questions. There's the interview. Here we go. Yeah, so I said to him, was Graham Central Station in your mind before you left Sly and the Family Stone, or did you decide to do that after? And he said, no, starting another band was never my intent. I'd been constantly writing songs at home, and all the band were writing. My first thought was producing and writing for a new band. I had tons of stuff at home, played it all myself at home. So I put a band together with Chocolate, who was Patrice Banks, and called it Hot Chocolate. Not to be confused with Errol Brown's Hot Chocolate. So I took things in that direction. They had a show in San Francisco one night at a club called Bimbo's. Sounds great, doesn't it? The show's going yeah. The crowd knew that he'd put the band together. They get to the end of the show, the focus of attention turned to me. Being the writer and producer, there was an instant connection. Everything elevated to another level, and it was very special. I wanted my intent to be in the band, but it was a natural change, so we called it Graham Central Station. And I did get into, just having a look through, because we did talk about the falling out. Bring us back a bit in the... Okay, let's... Maybe I didn't include it in there, so it will be in the audio. You'll hear it in the audio. But we were having a chat, and I remember him saying the whole situation when it started to fall to bits. I thought, yeah, I must have taken it out of the written part, because I think he might have said to me, I don't want that going in the mag. Yeah,
probably not, because I heard he feared for his life.
Well, now Sly's gone, it won't matter. But I remember him saying, I said, what was it like? He said, it was horrible. It was horrible, because we were all invested in that band. Yeah. None of us wanted it to end, but it was fairly clear and obvious what was going to happen. Yeah. And Sly basically, I think, had just wanted to become the dominator. Didn't really want anyone else to have a say in what the band was doing and how it did it.
Oh, what a shame.
And they could all see he's not in a fit state to run this band. But
yeah.
And I think that kind of left Larry in a place where you're either staying and putting up with it, or you've got to go. And Larry's a fairly forthright guy. He just thought, well, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So, and you got to remember, at that time there were bands springing up left, right, and centre every 5 minutes of the day. So he wasn't going to be out of work for very long.
Right.
And he had plenty of contacts in the industry.
Oh,
yeah. What band in San Francisco, Los Angeles wouldn't have wanted Larry Graham in their band?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
huge.
He's not going to be out of work.
Like an originator, the man who started it all.
He did,
and then he did loads of studio work as well. You know, Kev Allen. I was mainly talking grassroots punk bands. Okay, there was a 3-day festival at the Water Rats in King's Cross. Lots of different basses used, but mainly Peas and Stingrays. Peas I get, but Stingrays. Maybe some of the bass players in those bands are in other bands as well, but they only have one bass. And a Stingray will cover a lot. I have nothing against Peas. I've got several of them myself. But a Stingray will cover a lot more musical ground. If you play with 5 bands, you could use a Stingray in all those bands. You can't always do that with a P. As I said on one of my... actually, I said it here on a live chat and cut it into a short. No one ever lost an audition with a band because they had a Stingray. But I know lots of bass players that lost auditions because they had a Yamaha 6-string. So, you know, a Stingray will cover a lot of ground. You go into an audition with any band, you're going to be able to do anything with it. So that might well be it.
Yeah, I think it's easy for a Stingray to sound tough too. You know, like it's a tough sounding bass. It's actually hard to mellow it out. Yeah, even if you roll the treble down, it still kind of
can be very brash.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it fits the personality of punk quite well. You know, some bright strings on it, and
you go at a Stingray with a pick.
Boom.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
I've done it many times. They sound great.
Yeah,
that's a lovely hand you got there, Andy. That's belting that.
Now I've just read your lifeline. Would you like to know your fortune?
It's like the robot on News of the World.
Oh.
But yeah. So that would be that. Any other questions, gents? Anything else?
Yeah, one for you, Mark. You know the interview you did with Mr. Mark King in his apartment in London years ago. Was there any footage of it or not? Was there video footage or not?
No, it was all audio.
Yeah, I thought it was.
If there was video, you'd see me making him a cup of tea, even though the skinflint didn't pay for the milk. He was leaning over his, I've recalled this many occasions, he was leaning over his banister on his veranda, and me and Joel are walking around going, where is he? Where's I can't see where the flat is. We're following our sat nav going, it's over there maybe, but... And he goes, boys, do you want tea, coffee? We all went, yeah, get the kettle on. He said, well, good, nip in the shop over there, get some milk. We've got no milk. So you knew we were coming. Didn't even get the bloody milk in.
You guys want some beer? Yeah, go get a 6-pack and bring it over.
No, he didn't want any beer. He'd been on the old Rougeos the night before at Fleetwood Mac, so he had ruddy cheeks. But no, there's no video footage. We were purely on audio recording that day. I remember it like yesterday, though. He was sat on one chair at the table. I was next to him, and Joel was next to me. And it was like 3 old gas bags nattering away. And that audio on that interview, that's about a quarter of it. There's like another 3/4 to it where there's stuff that he said, I don't want this going out. And And there's stuff where he was doing the photos and we were just firing questions at him. And he said, come on, more. Let's get it all out.
Right.
What do you want to ask? So I rattled off a load of stuff. I said, well, you toured with Queen in '86. I said, what was that like? He said, you couldn't believe it. He said, you got to remember, we were just starting to hit our stride. We're having all the hits out and World Machine done great. And we got #1 across Europe. Yeah. We're at #1 and we're supporting Queen. And we're playing to 100,000 people in Mannheim. He says, you've never seen a gig like it. It was just mental. You couldn't see past the horizon line. It was just people the whole way back. And it was a flat piece of land. So there's no like undulating land. He said, just flat, full of people for as far as the eye could see. He said it was a thrill. I said, did you stay and watch? Because normally a support band, once you're done, you slot your bugger off. He said, no, we stayed and watched Queen's set.
Brilliant.
It was life-changing. I said, wow. I said, because I've seen photos of you talking to John Deacon in clubs like 84, 85. He said, John was fab. He said, what a bass player to stand there, all the stuff I do. And then you hear this guy who's not playing anything like that. It's not technical in that sense, but what a master of the instrument. I said, well, there you
Absolutely,
go. Yeah. So, yeah, he said, I just stood there and watched in awe of Freddie. You know, I'm there, like feet away from him, and he's doing his thing. And,
wow.
And they didn't do many shows. They did about 4 or 5, I think, because the support bands on that tour constantly changed. So In Excess did some dates. Quo did a bunch. The Alarm, Marillion. I think Chris Rea was on a couple. Quo.
Chris Rea, wow.
Yeah,
I've only recently discovered Marillion. They're pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
they were good. They're still going.
Still gone.
Before the years, though, really, the fish years,
they were kind of prog rock, not metal, but they're slightly different. Kind of Genesis-y,
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Genesis-y and a bit rushy, but not, and a smattering of Yes, but not, very odd. Odd in constantly changing. They weren't one thing or another. It was like there's something on every album that's a bit different.
I've heard like extreme pop ballads from them that are amazing, but that sound nothing like what they were doing early. And and then that guy comes out dressed insane, like he looks like a Native American or something. And
the past 20, 30 years, they've done loads of like fan-based projects. So you go to a gig, you can buy the recording from that night and the show and the DVD.
That guy played an Area SB1000 too in the early days.
And the Status 2000 as well.
Oh, and the Status later? Oh, wow.
There used to be a program here on Channel 4 called Rock Steady that ran from about 1988 up until about 1991. It disappeared. It was really good. It was on Tuesday nights, ran for about an hour and a half. And every week they would have clips from a gig that was happening in the country. And 1 week it was Dan Reed Network at Town and Country. Next week it was Sting at Wembley Arena. Week after that, Marillion were at Leicester de Montfort Hall. And you got like half an hour of them, like picks of songs out of their set. And Pete Trewavas, I don't know. He had a Status 2000, and when I watched that, and I was already a big Mark King fan, knew all about the Status stuff, but he had a tone I'd never heard coming out of a Status 2000. I was like, I've got to buy one of them. And he was playing with a pick, and clearly had some effects on it, but it sounded amazing. It was like, I've not heard that sound. I've not heard a 2000 do that sound.
Yeah,
I want that. I really want to do that. So somewhere on YouTube will be that footage.
And in that early footage also is worth mentioning, in addition to the SB1000, he's also playing through PV amps. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
you know, he wasn't using really fancy stuff. He was just getting it done.
The peak of that stuff. Kev Allen, tuners, what is it with people tuning every damn song? Even punk bands, a bass is going out of tune faster than the old days. Are we becoming more perfectionists? No one can detect the hundreds. Kev, I'll hold my hands up. I do it. I do it every song. I'll tell you what it is. If you're professional, you can't risk being out of tune. And
yeah, very true.
Certainly, like in Uncle Funk, our guitarist he won't be watching, but I'll say it anyway. When it comes to things like tuning accuracy and all of that, there's no other way of saying it. He's anal to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Seriously. He will, you know, if a mosquito landed on his ear, he'd go, "You're out of tune." So in that respect, and we've got track going on and there's keys and there's horns, I have to ensure that the bass is in tune. And the problem is, especially we do lots of festivals, temperatures are up and down. So it doesn't matter if I'm using the Status or not. Tunings go in and out. As a professional player for years, I would have, if I had my Kabiki or Stingray or whatever, I wouldn't check tuning between songs. As you get older, there's no excuse. You can't go into a song out of tune. No. So what I've discovered over the years is you eliminate as many possible areas of crap as you can. And if that means you have to tune up between each song, you do it. It's just a matter of course. But also, if there's suddenly an issue, like something's gone down, I'll pick up on it. So if I turn my tuner on and it's not picking up a signal, then I know there's a problem either with the tuner, the lead, or the bass. So I'd rather pick that up in between a song when the singer's talking, rather than in the middle of a song and suddenly something goes wrong. I'll pick up on it when we're in that gap. So it's not that gear's going out of tune or any of that. I think people are just a bit more want to make sure everything is right. That's the way I approach it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean everyone else is the same, but yeah. And especially, like I say, you're doing festivals and stuff. Temperature, humidity, air pressure, neck shifting, all of that. You can't legislate for it, so you better check your tunings right before you go wading into the song. Could also be some of those bands aren't playing in concert pitch, so they've tuned down. The strings have gone super baggy, and they're playing with picks and going for it, and they're probably playing the strings out of tune in terms of they keep playing, you know, constant 8s, 16ths or whatever, and they're knocking the strings out of tune. And if you're doing this drop tuning, strings are all super baggy. Well, you keep playing harder and harder, they're going to get even worse. So there could be a degree of that. Beat After Beat, seen Marillion open up for Rush on the Power Windows Tour 85. There you go. Awesome. Zuma's probably got the t-shirt.
I don't.
Kev Allen, love Marillion back in the day. I put them in prog. Yeah. Give Me Java, having a laugh. That's all cool. Stacey, do you guys remember a band called Fashion? Yes, I do.
Yep.
Local channel over here used to play their Love Shadow video a lot.
I read the book written by their extremely tall lead singer, and if there are any Duran fans out there, he talks about Duran in there. Right? They played a couple shows with them, and he mentions them in places. It's a pretty good book. It's not that long of a read, so if you can get your hands on it, it's worth the read.
See, that's what we pay him for, ladies and gentlemen. That insight and knowledge.
Inside knowledge, yes.
I could probably find the book. I'll show it next time, Stacey. I'll get the book out.
Excellent. We've broached 100 viewers. We're on 108.
Result.
All right.
Lovely.
It's nowhere near 3,330 though, is it?
I think we'll be sort of out and
Did we?
That's it.
Did I miss
grabbing them in off of the roads? What's that, Zuma?
While I wasn't on the chat, did I miss anybody talking about the Dingwall headless?
No, I mentioned it because we were talking about the Steinberger new graphite headless.
But that's like they're only making 12 of those, right?
Apparently so. It seems like a completely
like,
fruitless task in my book. Because if you're going to make it a wooden version, what's the point?
Yeah.
No, the reason you would have heard me mention Dingwall headless was I said at the end of the Steinberger, there's like a cutoff with like a small wooden ending. Yeah. That's exactly the same as what they've put on the Dingwall headless. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing one.
You should contact Sheldon Dingwall. He might be able to send one to you. The only problem is getting it to you in the States. You might have to pay a tariff.
I know. Well, I'm pretty good. You know
Even
what?
if you're not buying
it?
Huh? Would there be a tariff just on shipping one for demo purposes?
God, I don't know.
Buying it.
I don't know, but there's a really helpful dealer down here, Jason.
You can contact Sheldon direct. If you go to him on Facebook, tell him you've spoken to me.
All right.
And I suggested you contact him. He's very, very approachable.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
And he'll be very approachable to a Duran fan and a Kubicki fan. Yes. Because Dingwalls are based on Kubickis, and he was offered a job by Phil Kubicki. So
no way, I didn't know that.
Yes. He turned it down. Biggest regret of his life.
Oh man! But then again, he might have been just remaking Kubickis the rest of his life. Instead, he made a brand new instrument.
Yes. Look at any Dingwall, huge influence from the Kubickis.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, when you think about
it. He tips his hat to it. He bought a red one.
Yeah.
He came over here in 2021 and I went to meet him for a cup of tea and a cake. And I took my white one and he went, I'd bought a red one last week. I said, oh, okay. I thought this might be a bit of a rarity for you. He went, it was. He said, it would have been. He said, but I bought a red one last week. He said, too much time had passed and I haven't owned one. It was about time I sort of remedied that. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I never knew that.
Yeah. But no, he's big Phil fan. So,
oh, Phil.
As he said, that was probably the most pioneering bass since Leo.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a topic for another chat. I remember having the electric bass poster. That's what it said. It said the electric bass. And I'd really love to know who put that together, because to this day, I feel like their selections stand. You know, they stand the test of time, because they had things like, obviously, the P bass was the big one in the foreground, but it had the jazz. It had a sting. What did it have? A Stingray? I don't know about that. Then it had a Kubicki. It had some kind of a hollow body. Had a Rickenbacker. I forgot the rest of them. It's not that hard to find the picture. I'll try to look at it right now. And you can still buy the poster. That's one of those things I always forget to do. Buy the damn poster. You know, put it back here or something. But but the Kubicki X Factor is in that poster. It's like, these are the basses that are important.
Very. Yeah. It changed a lot of things, and here we are, 40 plus years ago, and still elements of those bases are now still coming into new models now. So
yeah, they are. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love the fact it used to have the socket was on the side, so
Right,
you would
on the
plug
side.
a lead in vertically. So if you trod on the lead, it couldn't rip out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't there's nowhere for the lead to then come out. So if you trod on the lead, it just didn't go anywhere. Outstanding.
Right.
Yeah.
Sound like no other bass guitar on the planet. You hit that open D, there's nothing on this planet that sounds like it. There's no low B string sounds like that on a D.
Yeah, because I did the math, and I think if you do the math, it's like nearly a 37-inch B string, but
it's
obviously
36.
it's
36.
Wow. It's like 36 and something. No, I did the math one time, and
36 and 2 extra frets.
It sounds amazing though. It's like but see, it's not a 36-inch B string; it's a 36-inch E string. So it has a certain
resonates.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not so much mass that it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you the picture, Mike. I don't know if you have time to slot
it's
that in.
It's just so simple. You don't even think about it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Much. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why they weren't more popular, I couldn't tell you.
So on the ding rolls, Mike.
Yes, mate.
The higher the frets in high range are diagonal, aren't they? Is that quite difficult?
It's across the whole neck. So literally, you've got the middle of the neck is like that.
Yeah.
Going.
Is it quite difficult to get around, or is it?
No. When you play it, you don't look at the front of the neck. You look at the side of the neck as you would with any other bass, and you look to see where the fret end is. And then when you put your fingers on the board, your fingers will naturally follow the curvature of the frets because that's the way fingers are. Yeah. If you play it and you start looking at the front, that's what throws you, because you look at it, especially if you got glasses, and it's like, whoa, and your fingers start going in weird places. It doesn't work. So you just watch the side as you would with any other bass. Don't look on the front, look on the side where the fret is, and just put your finger where you would put it.
Oh, really? Okay.
People make far too much of this. Oh, I can't possibly play it. Oh, rubbish. Just play it. Just play. You know, if Led Zeppelin came to you and said, right, there's a dingwall there, you're playing that, you'd play it. Yeah. So people always will look for an excuse, something that's different. They'll find a reason not to like it. Play the bloody thing, and then you've got a reason to say yes, it works, or no, it doesn't. But people will look at fan frets and just go, no, I can't do. Have you played it? No. So if you when I used to do the reviews, when they first were appearing, 2008, 2009, 2010, big furore on all the bass forums. You can't play that. Just play it like you would play any other bass. But as Lee Sklar said, don't look at the front. Just look at the side and put your finger where you would normally put it. The curvature of your fingers, bones, tendons, and all that will take care of the rest. And he was exactly right.
Yeah, slapping it, is that the same?
Say again?
Slapping it, is it the same as the normal one? Okay.
I don't find much of a problem with that. The only thing I have trouble with are very specific chord shapes way up high. And I'm talking like things you would probably never do but certainly not playing in 90% of bands, but just if you come up with this like nice little chordal piece on a standard instrument and then you try to play that on a ding, like, gosh, that's kind of a stretch over here. But I mean, when are you going to do that? They're
great.
Do it,
really great.
I'll try one if I can.
It's fun. It's fun.
They're great. They sound quite different. They're very mid-biased. But if you go into the more expensive models, then there's different circuitry and what have you. The Z3, which is like $4.5 grand, One of the most amazing bass I've ever played. But I can't afford $4.5 for one, so I've got a NG2, and it does me fine. I'm very happy with it.
How much
it's yellow.
How much was that?
How much was that? Oh God! Well, I got that in 2017, so that was about 1,400, 1,500. I think they're 1,800 now.
Are they?
Oh, I think they're more.
But
than
they're the Chinese made ones. So if you get
you
might
Canadian pounds though, right? Yeah.
I'm talking pounds, yeah. But if you get a Canadian, like an AB1, and then start going up through the ranges, I mean, you feel the difference. So before I bought that, there was a second-hand AB1, sorry, not AG, AB1 at Bass Direct, and someone brought it in as a part exchange. And Marcus brought it down. I played it. I was like, wow, right. I might have to buy that. He went, oh, yeah. Started getting the paperwork, and someone had bought it online while I was trying it.
Really?
And it was in the whale pool burst, quilted maple, wengy neck, wengy fingerboard. I was like, it played great. I bought it. Say again?
I'll got it up to Anderton soon and try one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let us know what they go for, because I keep pointing back here because I used to have it hanging in back of me, but I got my JT model. I think it was in 2022, maybe 2023. I can't remember. 2023. And if I do the conversion, I just did it right now real quick. It's just shy of 2,000 pounds. So that's what I paid for it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Like they were about 3,000.
Yeah. So
it was at the Cranberry.
Mine's what they called Primrose, which is like an off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they were about 2004, 2005.
Oh, yeah. No, the ones you're talking about were a good $400 more.
Yeah.
Because those were the limited to 82, I guess. Yeah, 82 for the real thing. But I got like one of these like production ones, which were not the limited 82. So mine's is like a cream color. And yeah, so if that was 2023, 2,000 British pounds, then I wonder what you're going to find at Anderton's in 2025.
Well, I know there's a second-hand at Primrose at Bass Brothers, and I think that was about 2,400. Hold on.
I remember seeing one hanging when you did that quick tour.
There's yes, at the gallery.
Yeah, but I think that one was a different color. That one might have been a black one.
No, there's Primrose there as well.
Oh, that also there?
And it was still there last week, yeah. Hang on. I'll tell you what.
See, it's waiting for you, Andy.
Let's have a look at Dingwall. Hold on. Bass Brothers. Oh, no, they've sold it now. Okay, let's have a look at Bass Gallery. Manufacturer. Dingwall. The one at the gallery is 2,700, brand new one, Primrose. They've got Seafoam Green, 2.7.
Wow.
They've got a selection of NG35s. It's a combustion 2, 1,500 quid. C3 5-string, 1,800 in whale pool burst. Bunch of NG3s, some combustions. Yeah.
Anderson's have got SP1s from 2.2.
Oh, yeah.
The D-Rock sort of T-Bird type thing at 1.7. They've got the NG3, similar to yours, at 2,299.
Yep.
So,
yeah, prices all went up, and also they've had to deal with the tariffs thing as well.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, on that note, I'm going to turn into a pumpkin.
Me as well, actually. Yeah, I'm up early tomorrow. So
you boys are off, are you?
It's been nice.
Okie dokes.
So, yes,
thank you, chaps. So. Take it easy. Have a good week.
No problem.
I'll catch you shortly. Take it easy.
Cheers,
Andy. You off as well?
Hope you'll. I'll have something to show you, Nick, on Tuesday.
Lovely. Look forward to it.
Richie.
Look forward to it.
No problem.
Cool.
Cheers, Andy.
Yeah, see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, young Richard. See you next week.
Yes, sir. See you then.
All right, mate. I'm going to quickly rattle through these messages, and we will call it a night. Kev Allen, is the Dingwall the 3-bar pickup one? Which one?
yours
is the.
I think
mine is a 2. No, I've got a 2 because that's all there was when we came. You off, are you?
Good night, sir.
Okay, mate. Take it easy. See you soon.
Take care.
All the best. Bye bye. No, I've got a 2, Kev. NG2 from 2017. Stacey, Dingwall Effigy is available for pre-order from John Fox Bass in Nashua, New Hampshire, taking £500 deposits now. Albriano Dingwall Z3 5-string goes for $8,960 for the Canadian made version. Ouch. Yes, just a bit. They were expensive when I reviewed them. They're even more expensive now. Electric Low End, think it's time for me to hit the hay. It was great to see you all. Again, until next time, tip the bass player. Quite exactly. We're making you all dance. Exactly that. Beat after beat there. Sim, Anderson's didn't have any Dingwalls in the shop when I was there on Sunday. Might be in the warehouse. You've enjoyed your birthday. Thank you. Cool. Kev Allen, nice but pricey. NG3's around 2-3K on Bass Direct. Yeah, they've all gone up. Give me Java, you're off. Okay. Albriano, you're off too. Very good. Right. On that note, people, thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you've had a great time. It's been interesting chat tonight. All sorts of different topics. So on that note, thank you very much. There'll be a video. I'm going to try and get it up before I go to bed. Video, nothing else. Keep it clean. I've got a demo video of the Wilcock at medium scale 102. I've rendered it. I've just got to check it, make sure it's fine. If it is, I can put it up onto YouTube and we're ready to go. If not, it'll be there tomorrow, hopefully before midday, but I'm going to try and get it done before I go to bed. So on that note, thank you very much for tuning into Live Chat 133. We'll be back to Tuesday next week. There'll be some more videos over the weekend. I've got songs to learn tomorrow and Friday, but I will try and get another video ready for Friday, which will be the review video of the 102 medium scale. And on that note, it's time to say goodnight. So take it easy if you're out over the weekend gigging. Enjoy yourselves. Get there safely. Get home safely too. Most important. And I'll catch you next Tuesday from 8 o'clock. Don't forget the merch is 20% off between now and Sunday 5th. Where's my thing gone? There we are. It's there, isn't it? Yes. From the 1st to the 5th of October, 20% off all merch. Fill your boots. On that note, take it easy. Have a great weekend, guys. I will see you next Tuesday. See you later. Take it easy.